Yes, yes, people. What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. We are live for the late vibe show, man. You know the score. Tuesdays. We've not done this in a while, because of the Champions Leagues, got in the way. Some great Champions Leagues, to be fair. We've seen. And so we're back. We're gonna be back, you know what I mean, every Tuesday with the Mandem. And it's good to have Temi in the building. Temi, how are you, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I cannot complain. Shout out to the panel. Shout out to the chat. I'm excited to be here, bro. It's been a minute.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's also been a minute for Ange, man. Ange, can you hear us, bro, man? It's been a while, man. A lot has happened in the time we last spoke, man. How are you, bro?
A lot's happened, but it feels like we're back in the same spot, bro. We're back in. I feel like nothing's happened. We're still a shit team. We're still struggling to do a lot of things. So yeah, it's good to be back, bro.
Yeah, man, absolutely, man. And Shells, man's here, man. Got more hats on the board than wins, man. You know what I mean? You might have more hats than Amorim's press conferences, man. What are you saying, bro?
Trim's peak right now. Don't worry, I'll be. I told you I'm going Marvel. I'll be back in it.
Oh man.
But no, big up the panel. Big up Saeed as always. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I've met Temi, and so it'd be nice to see you all gone. But yeah, match day shows, man. Let's have a good one.
Is Brian coming, Saeed?
No, Brian won't be able to make it. But Omar might be making it, and hopefully Kaz will be making it. But yeah, Omar got stuck. I mean, Brian's been stuck in traffic, so Brian can't be here today. So big up to Brian each every time, man. And Omar might be coming back as well. So yeah, man, we might be having a gang back, man. So big up to everyone. But yeah, you know what? Let me go with Ange and what do you call it, Temi. Obviously, the latest is we're hearing right now is that changing the coach, the last thing on the manager's agenda. Man United's priority is to try and provide Ruben Amorim with the players who will allow him to play the style he wants to implement. Obviously, me and Charles have been talking about the manager for a hot minute. I want to just get your opinions on the manager because we've not spoken in a while. I start with you, Temi. How are you, man? What's your feelings towards the manager and how are you feeling right now as a United fan?
I'm not going to lie, bro. I am extremely underwhelmed. Extremely underwhelmed, bro. If they fired him tomorrow, I'd be like, bet. I would have no issues whatsoever. Like none. I'm seeing a lot of people having a lot of debates about, why he's performing so badly. And, most people are just like, oh, it's the players. The players are awful, cool. I just think 16th, bro, is just unacceptable. I don't care how bad the players are, bro. I do not care how bad the players are. We should never be in 16th place. We're not 16th place. Like, this squad is not 16th place bad, bro. I'm not hearing that. Most of these players that are in this team, like it or not, have played in meaningful games in their career, like very meaningful games. Either won a Europa League. Some of them in this team have won the Europa League. Some people have gone very far in international tournaments. Right? These are international level. Most of our players are getting called up to their international teams, and they're not like small teams. This is Portugal, Netherlands. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we're not 16th place bad. I think that he's made more. I can't think of the things he's done really well since he's been here. If you were to what has Amorim been doing well? I could not tell you. I literally can't. I couldn't. There's nothing I can say outside of, okay, we haven't lost in the Europa League since he's been here, right? That's the one saving grace. But we haven't performed that well in the Europa League, honestly. We've gotten away with a lot, right? Obviously, the last, against Bilbao, those two games, I would say that was arguably our two best, games in the tournament. But other than that, bro, we're awful. We're awful. I just don't think there's a world where we're sitting in 16th place and it's just like the manager. Oh, there's no onus on the manager, bro. That doesn't make any sense to me. Literally none. I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, he has to get his players. Like, let's say he gets 6 players this summer. Is that there's still going to be tons of players who he doesn't want that are here and he has to make do with. So what does he do in that scenario? You sign 6 players, maybe let's say 4 of them hit. Because we're always going to have a signing that doesn't work out, right? Let's say 4 of them hit, 2 of them don't. Now we have 4 players that we play consistently. What about injuries? What if people get injured? So it's just like, I don't see it as a oh, if he gets 6 new players this summer, it's just going to completely turn around our fortunes with him. I don't see it that way. So if I was INEOS, I would just start afresh. Start afresh, squad. You know what I'm saying? And get another manager. That's what I would do if I was there.
Yeah. And what about you, bro? You were kind of like very critical of Amorim at the start. I remember you were like, yo, you were like early, not very keen on Amorim, and you were kind of like looking at a few warning signs. Like, are you fully out? Do you have sympathy for him? Are you?
You know what's funny? You know what's funny about that, Saeed? I kind of came around to what other people were saying and saying, let's give him until next year. Let's give him, even though partly because the reason I kind of was changing my mind is because half his team was out, either injured or we loaned him out, whether it's Anthony, Rashford, Sancho. So if you look at all the wages, and Rick Ratcliffe made that point in his interview with Gary Neville. He doesn't have half his salary in the team. Casemiro was injured at the time and all that stuff. So I'm like, all right, begrudgingly, I was like, all right, let's give him until the start of next season. And then watching the weekend, because the weekend's team was actually, I was excited about the team. Dude, I don't know if you guys, when you first saw that team come out and you saw Ahmad in that team, Mount in that team,
I liked it,
I was feeling a bit tingly, and so I'm like, this is going to be fun to watch. You know, I'd love Xerxes in this team because he'd be beautiful to play off with Ahmad and with Mount. He's just so technically gifted. I was excited. I was like, that's the only player we're missing. He would actually make this team a lot better. But watching the game, I was shocked, bro. I was shocked. I was just shocked how deep we were defending. And I'm a Man United fan. You know what I want in the first 10 minutes at Old Trafford? Just pressing, harassing, trying to win the ball back in high dangerous areas. That's what I was waiting for. I'm like, how deep are we? We're letting him in dangerous areas in our own pitch. No wonder why they're going to score. If you let him in dangerous areas on the pitch, there's areas of the pitch they should never reach if you're United playing West Ham.
Yeah.
And they were reaching all these really dangerous areas in the pitch. And I'm like, oh no, this is not going well. And then when they have the ball in their own half, we can't actually press them. We were struggling to press because we're sitting so, and he couldn't see that. And what I've been, if he had a smile like Ten Hag, he wouldn't be in this job because he's got a beautiful smile. He's got a nice way about him. He'll come into press conferences and he'll basically, I'm shit. My team's shit. And we're all like, yeah, he's right. Look, we all agree with him. His team's shit. He's shit. And he's being allowed to get away with a lot. My big concern is, are we going to spend this summer spending $200 million, $150 million on Amorim's system only to sack him 10 games into the new year? That is the number one question everybody at United need to. Are you going to lose 9 out of 10 next year? Are you going to lose 6 out of 10? Are we going to be in the bottom 6 of the Premier League at the start? These are all questions that people. And the other big concern is we have to remember that
your internet's going on. Can you hear us?
Wasn't Omar Barada's man. It's going to restart.
Can you hear us? Yeah. Maybe. Can you hear us, Ange?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah. You're back now. You're back now.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. We can hear you now.
All right, I'll just continue. So the people that are going to be making the decisions around Ten Hag are Barada, Wilcox, and they're the people that are appointing him. People don't like admitting they made mistakes. You know what I mean? They don't want to. They'd rather fail than admit they made a mistake, and that is a concern. Does anybody have balls to go, hey, let's not double down on a bad decision and start again? Yep. Or do they believe in him internally and they go, all right, we actually genuinely believe in him. He's going to change it, which I've got big doubts about. So there's big decisions for us. For the second consecutive season, are we going to be sacking a manager mid-season? Because if we start poorly next year, if we're in the bottom 6 like this and losing every week, so we're going to sack. And then we all know how hard it is to find managers in the middle of a season.
Facts.
That's the big concern. It's so hard to find a manager in the middle of the season. You have to overpay, whether it's a release clause, and then you've got to give them another 2-year contract. So we're going to be paying 2-3 managers at the same time. It's a mess at the moment. It's big concerns. Big problems. Big problems.
Yeah, they've got to make a decision, no man, to either back him or to sack him. You know what I mean? They've got to make that decision quite early, regardless of the Europa League or not. Like, they've got to make a decision. Are they going into the summer backing the manager, or are they? You know what? As soon as that final goes, maybe a couple of days after, you say, right, we're moving on. We've got a new manager coming in already, and he knows his targets.
So, Saeed, I heard there's a good conspiracy going around that Omar Barada is a double agent. I'm not dismissing it out of hand. I heard somebody was spreading that rumor. I heard somebody spreading this rumor this week.
Bro, listen, I don't know, man, because right now he's true, bro. It could be true, man, because this brother right now is moving mad, bro. You get me? Like, I don't know. Like I said to you, the shells, the latest is that they don't have plans to sack him. A lot of fans are not happy with that. You know what I mean? They're saying, yo, we need him gone. It's not good enough. We're like, me and you are kind of similar. We want to give him like a window in it, but it's like at the minute now, brother, man, it's looking very, very dark for Amorim right now. Another interview today, you know, he said he feels embarrassed. You know, like I said it, man. He treats these interviews like it's therapy, man. But like, how do you think? Does he look like a man that's broken? Does he look like a man that's given up on a job?
I feel like this is kind of the language we got for a long time now, though. Do you know what I mean? It's not really nothing new, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I don't think the interview should change anything. But one thing I would say is the club need to allow him in terms of how many interviews he's going to. But then obviously this is the stature of the club we are, and people forget this. Do you know what I'm saying? We are a massive club. No matter if we're 16th or not, I always say this, and people don't realize United are in the pinnacle of football in terms of English football, like the Real Madrid are and Barca for Spain. Do you get what I'm saying? We've just fallen, and our standards have fallen this much. It's got to this point. However, on the whole Amorim thing, of course, he's not showing me enough. He's not showing a lot of fans enough. But we have to take in obviously consideration. I don't like the whole players are just shit stuff, because you know what I'm saying? You made a good point already that we're getting our players called up to international football, whether that's Portugal, whether that's England, wherever. Do you know what I'm saying? So the players are, they're bad, but then they're not 16th worthy.
They're not 16th, bro. Let's be real.
They're not 16th worthy, and we have to keep it real. But with that being said, it's like the INEOS have if anything, it's on these guys. You know what I'm saying? As much as the managers perform doing bad, they've brought him in mid-season and they've done that mistake. They forced him in to come in now. He didn't want to come in. Do you get what I'm saying? But I think you have to give him a window, guys. As bad as it's been, you kind of have to, because that's the only way he gets
491 interviews, by the way, is crazy, isn't it, man? Like that right there, Shells, is mad, bro.
But my bro, why is that though? Why does he have to have a window?
Because I feel like
this is the most important question, actually. It's the most important question.
It is.
So I think I'm going off a football perspective of what INEOS are doing. So INEOS have brought him in to say, yo, you need to come in and do your thing. This have a buy, basically. They gave him a buy, right? Let's be real. They gave him a buy. With that being said, he's got us into the Europa League final. Cool. My point is that it will look even worse on INEOS that you look even clueless because you sacked Ten Hag. That was crazy. You should have sacked him right at the beginning of the summer, right? You didn't do that. So then you've done it mid-season. You look crazy. Now you're gonna sack another manager before you go in. It just looks like they're all over the place. So I just don't see it happening. It's like you have to kind of give him. They've obviously said we're gonna give you this buy and then give you a window and then go from there. So that's all I can really go off.
So
you know what I mean?
So just to respond to that, what I'm hearing is they shouldn't sack him because they themselves don't want to look crazy in front of the fan base. It's like they don't want their mistakes to be highlighted. It's not like a football thing. It's a INEOS. We made the mistake with Ten Hag. It looks like we made a mistake with Amorim. We can't fire him now because the perception would just look like we don't know what we're doing. Is that what I'm hearing?
That, and also from a footballer's perspective, as in a sense where that when he came in, they gave him this period of duration. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like I know they couldn't have seen this would happen, definitely, but I feel like if you've given a manager if you've given a manager an aim to come in and he's been handicapped with in that sense where he hasn't got his players and he said it's going to get worse before it gets better. So he's changed the whole system. Obviously, this team is suited for a counter-attacking 4-2-3-1 team, and we obviously are not playing that at the moment. So he said I could do that and play that, but I'm not going to install the philosophy going into the next season. I think personally that's been a bad decision. My only gripe about Amorim, it really and truly is like I'm not against people saying he should sack him. You guys are within your right to have that opinion. I'm just a bit where I'm really concerned is that he's so hell bent on one way. If there was like a plan B, then I could be like, yo, do you know what I'm saying? I have something to give off. But I'm just going off what INEOS have been saying and what's been briefed, that he's not going anywhere.
Right. So just
and also, we don't know what Ineos's plan is like. What's their remit? Is it to get top 4, top 6, top 8?
Here's the thing.
You know, what is their remit? What do they tell?
You know what I was.
You know.
You know what they're probably thinking is maybe in the back of their mind they realize Amorim's not the right man. Maybe they've thought about that already. But they're thinking, let's not sack him now. Let's improve the squad. Let's add a few players. And then if we sack him in 12 months' time, the squad's so much better. We've balanced the budget a lot better. We'll have more room to, you know what I mean? He doesn't have to be perfect. Hopefully gets us in the top half, top 6, you know, for the next 12 months. And then we can sack him after that. That's probably what they're thinking. But if things are just so bad where we lose we lose every game, we can't. We're getting out every game. I feel like the other manager's better than our manager. They're getting more out of their players than our manager. There's no, and like the thing was saying, there's no flexibility in terms of our tactics. You know, we're not surprising coaches.
Listen, I would like the manager to be given a chance here, but we're fans in it. Like ultimately, we don't have a say. We're just here supporting. If you,
we do have a say. Remember the letter.
Well,
the
letter
to be fair,
we do have
bro.
a say. But the thing is, though, they are just like, I just can see them doing the same thing again, where they make that same mistake again. Like, bro, like you've got to back this guy or you've got to sack him.
Bro, here's the thing.
He looks like a guy that he's not asked whatever. You know, some managers, whatever you give them in life, they'll be happy. He looks like a kind of guy that, yo, whatever you tell him, he's going, man. He is actually ready to walk away. Like
that's okay.
He says, I'm embarrassed.
Saeed, real quick. So when they signed him, right? How much did they pay? Lisbon to get him out of Lisbon? Was it 10 million?
I don't know. You know, I don't know.
It was. I'm pretty sure it was
10. Like 9.1.
It was like 9 point something.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah. Yes, it was, bro. It was a lot of money. It was a lot of money.
It's public.
Look it up.
It's on their records.
Yeah,
it's
look it up.
Amorim,
look it up.
Compensation.
It was like, it was it was 9 to 10 million compensation, right? Think about that for a second. Why would you?
You're right. You know, why United paid Sporting Club a total of 9.2 million in compensation for the Premier League club.
Yeah, bro. So think about that real quick.
Euros or pounds?
Yeah, you think that they would spend that money, right? We were in 11th place. I think we were in 11th place. I think we were 4 points off.
Yeah, 4 points off. Yeah.
So think about that for a second. They spent £9 million to get this guy in. Why? You think they spent that money so we could drop to 16th place? Like, do you think they actually invested that type of money?
No one envisaged that. No one.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like, okay.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? The game that Ten Hag got sacked in, just quickly, was against West Ham away. Remember, Delap missed that open goal, and we should have won that game. We were the better team that game. Yeah. And then on just the weekend past, we played West Ham, and they outplayed us at home. We got cooked. We played. See the difference? Ten Hag would have got crucified for that performance, and rightly so. But yeah, so sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just saying this to make a point of like, listen, just because there's two things to this. INEOS is like very, very new. Like, what is it? A year and some change, right? It's not even been 2 years, right? So when we say, oh, they keep on making these mistakes, they haven't had enough time to make a million mistakes like the Glazers did. Where I see where they made mistakes is the manager's decisions. They didn't sack Ten Hag on time, and in my opinion, if they don't sack this manager now, that will be another mistake. I think in the transfer windows, I think they did fine. I think they did fine to above average in the transfer window, and I think they'll do fine to above average in this transfer window. But again, if you stick with this manager, right, you are essentially saying, because at the end of the day, if we get a new manager,
do you think, let me ask you a question though, just to kind of twist it a little bit and play devil's advocate. What if players actually help the manager implement his system? Like, I know we're thinking like the opposite way, but what if it's what the manager needs? An upgrade in the quality.
No, here's why I disagree with that. Here's why I disagree with that, because I've seen a lot of these players play for different managers in their international teams, and they're doing well. Like people talk about Ederson, right? Like, oh, Ederson, he's slow. When he plays for his country, Like he's making an impact in this country. You can say I could say the same thing about Europa League. Oh well, he's just doing well because it's the Europa League, right, bro? At the end of the day, I have seen with my 2 eyes many of these players play at a higher level than they're playing right now. It's just an objective.
No, I agree, but I think
an objective fact.
To what level though? Listen, I think
Europa League, FA Cups. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. But I do believe though there is a lot. You can say that as well. We can all say that the lack of quality in this squad though.
Of course, it's not good.
It's not good enough, and that's where I sometimes believe. You know what, man? He is like Shell says, like you can still see that he's being left a bit.
Do you know what? Do you know what? Not good enough used to be for us. Not making the Champions League. Not good enough didn't used to mean 16th place. Like that's the difference. Like even with Ten Hag, as much as I wanted him to get sacked, at least we got 3rd place and 2 trophies. Like I can say that. Like we can. There's something there. Like that was the standard. We were mid-table 8 second season. Then obviously he was 11th, but we were still 4 points off top 4 before he left. Right.
By the way, I can still say though, like INEOS are part of the reason why we are 16th as well. Like I know it's the manager, but had we got in a proper manager in the summer, we would also not be 16th and 17th. We all agree with that as well. Like, yes, it's the manager, and yes, he's the one that gets results. But some of the reason that we are where we are is down to INEOS as well, because
that's on them.
They didn't sack Ten Hag.
They should have sacked Ten Hag. But again, I'm sorry. Like, there's like I think there's a baseline level of competence that a manager should like. That we should. Yeah, there should be non-negotiable.
Back-to-back games. You got to get that as a manager.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. I think his win percentage in the Premier League is like I don't even think it's 30%, bro.
Bro, it's dead, bro. It's dead.
Come on, like that is my issue. That's my inherent issue. It's like it's not that it's bad. It's just unacceptable.
Bro, it's shocking, bro.
It's just unacceptable, bro. Our standard used to be if we didn't get top 4, that manager's on the ropes. That's it. No, and now it's like, oh, he's 16th. Well, I think he needs his players, bro. I remember I think Andrew's on this stream when we first got Amorim. I sat here and said, because I was very excited to bring him in, right? I was excited to bring him in, and I think I said the at minimum, and I said this confidently. There's no way we can be worse. Like at worst, he's going to steady the ship for us. That's what I said. He's going to steady the ship. The ship has not been steadied. In fact, it's not even like it's drastically worse. Like it's drastically worse. Like, and we're talking about these players. These players have saved his ass multiple times, bro. We were down.
I agree.
We were up 2-0. We dropped to 4-2 with 10 men, and these same players came back and won that game. So it's like, imagine if we lost that game. Imagine if we lose to Spurs. God forbid. Imagine if we lose to Spurs. Bro.
I'm dead,
how can if we lose to Spurs and there's people still saying back him? I'm sorry, bro. That logic to me would be shocking. I would be like, we've lost the plot.
What does it say about the ownership though? I go on Shells. Like, what does that say about the ownership? They keep him and they are not saying that this because standard starts from the top. It starts with fans, but it also starts at the top though. They set the standards and everyone then follows. You feel me? So if they're not sacking him, like, bro, man, people are just gonna kind of carry on and say, you know what, he's here. That's what's gonna happen, guys. So
you know what it is though? I agree with what you're saying, Temi. It's different is that United have never been in this situation before. Do you get me? In the terms of where we have to like this rebuild is
not in our lifetime. Not in our lifetime. Yeah.
Do you see where I'm heading with this? Yeah. So it's like I think INEOS are taking that into consideration when they're saying like, yo, we're gonna back him because as bad as Ten Hag was, you're right. No one saw us getting as bad as this. I agree 100%. But two things can be right. Do you know what I'm saying? In a sense where our standards have dropped. I hear it. But it's not because of just Amorim. This is a cultural thing that's happened. Do you get what I mean? So it's like we can't just put that solely down to him. He's just picking up the pieces of Ten Hag, glazes, and bad decisions.
Yeah.
But within that being said, he's still not doing good enough.
Yep.
But again, I'm just on that fence where it's like at least allow him the window because the window he got rid of Rashford, whether that was on him or the club and all of that. But he's never had that. Only players he's had of his is Dogu, and he's 19 or 20. Sorry. Yeah. So it's like.
But my bro, think about the risk reward. Just real quick. if we sack him right now, what do we actually lose? Like, just think about that for a second.
Not a lot. I can't lie.
We lose nothing. We lose.
Nothing.
I mean, INEOS loses some money. They lose some bread. Cool.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But like, what do we actually?
They have to admit they're wrong.
They have to admit they're wrong. That's the only thing we realistically.
It's a bad look, though. It's a bad look.
But of course, it's a bad look. But
and that's where for me,
from our position, bro. But from our position as fans, what do we lose? We lose nothing. We lose absolutely nothing. If we continue with him this summer, we spend 200 million, and to Andrew's point, we're sitting in 12th in October. That adds another year and a half to what we're doing. If we just cut bait now, at least it's like it's fresh.
But then what? We were
16th last season. Let's start afresh. We don't even need to. Like, we lose nothing in that scenario. Literally nothing.
Can I say one more?
I feel a bit uneasy. Yeah, sacking a manager. Yeah, I get it. He's 17th, but then panicking, sacked him, done whatever, and then what's your plan next? You see why
we get another manager. We get another manager. That's the plan.
This is it. But this is it. What is your plan now, though? Because you've shown us now in this last year you have been.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by what's the plan?
Like I said now, for example, this new manager that comes in now, what's your remit for him? Like, what is your plan for him? Like, who?
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Listen, when they got the job, right? They said that we're implementing a philosophy of play, a way of playing. That's what managers aside, like, we are bringing in a way of playing. In my opinion, the way this manager has looked, it's the antithesis of what they were talking about. Yeah. It's the antithesis. It's the exact opposite. Like, if we were, to Andrew's point, if we were pressing high and we were losing 4-3, and we can see that there's the defense, like the player, you know what I'm saying? It'd be one thing, but we're sitting back against Brentford, we're sitting back against Bournemouth, we're sitting back against like average teams, bro.
So what you're saying to me is that the plan should be sack until you get the manager right.
Absolutely. Look at Bayern Munich. Look at Bayern Munich real quick. When does Bayern Munich ever say, "Oh, what's the plan?" When we sack Nico Kovac, when we sack Hansi Flick, bro, think about it for a second. Like, they sack managers like it's their job. Bro, Carlo Ancelotti won the Champions League last season. He did the double last season. He's out. Yeah. like I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying we have to be that aggressive, but if it's 16, I'm gonna say it again. If it's 16th place, they're sacking Carlo for finishing second, getting to like 2 or 3 semifinals, and getting to a Champions League quarterfinal. We're talking about 16th place, and we're saying, you know what? Maybe we should just let it. No, bro. Like, just get rid. Like, 'cause again, I will repeat this: if we get rid of him, we as fans lose nothing. We don't.
There won't be no emotional outcry in that.
Lose nothing.
Against your point, yeah. Against your point is one. We're not Real Madrid. First of all, we don't have the players that they have. It's just that simple. We are the Real Madrid of football in England. However, reality check, for 10 years we haven't been. Do you get what I'm saying? So we're in a position where we can't act like them, man, because we ain't been acting like the club ourselves. If we sack the manager now, it doesn't bode well for who's meant to be coming in, because they handicapped him. You can't.
What's our standard? So, bro, what's been our standard for the last 10 years? What's been our standard? Like, our baseline average standard? What's that been? No, it's been Champions League every other year and a trophy every other year. That's kind of been our standard. That's been our baseline. That's been our baseline standard for 10 years. Now we're talking about, even last year, as terrible as it was, we won a trophy, right? Now we're talking about, we're 4 points off top 4 before this guy gets here. Now we're, I think, 25 points off top 4, right? We're sitting in 16th place. That's not our standard. I'm just saying, even if we held up our terrible standard of the last 10 years, it's not been good enough. That's all I'm saying. Like,
yeah, you're correct, but also us, this is our worst in those 10 years.
Yep. You know what I'm saying? I mean, worst.
Like, yep. You have to like, bro, I hear you. I wish I could be like, yo, we're Man United. This shouldn't be happening. Unfortunately, that doesn't hold weight no more. Unfortunately, and this is our worst period in that 10 years. So it's like the ownership, INEOS have the manager to a point where it's like, yo, I have to allow him this to go. Do you get what I'm saying? I get what you're. I wish. Go on.
How no, but how have they? I don't even agree with that. INEOS have like one. Let's get a couple things out the way. He wanted Rashford gone. Cool. I didn't have an issue with that. Right. We got him a left. Like he knew what he was getting himself. Like this is a grown man. We're talking about a 40-year-old man. Like what? Like he knew what he was walking into. He knew what he was walking into. I'm sure he. Go ahead.
If you get rid of Rashford, who's top 10 in United goal scoring, yeah, ever, and then you bring in no one, that is fucking over the manager, bro. Let's be real. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you haven't given a replacement. Then you got rid of Anthony. I know he wasn't whatever. I know even if this is manager or not, or a manager decision or not, you still have to go get him a replacement, surely.
Listen,
he wasn't fully back in January. He wasn't.
Bro, but okay, again, I can hear that. I can hear that argument. I'll concede to you on that. One, real quick, I don't rate Anthony or Rashford, but if you know that you're not going to get replacements, just keep them. Like, just keep them. Because here's my thing. It's like, I hear January, we don't sign more than 2 players ever. That's just, we've never done that. Like, what do we expect them to sign 3 or 4 players from in January? That's just not the reality. That's not how anybody does business. No one's signing 3 or 4 players in January. You feel me? So he knew at max he was getting 2 players, maximum.
No, he said it.
Right?
Tammy, just quickly, he said that he knew that he wasn't getting any replacements, but he was.
He knew. That is the reason I don't really have.
He said it was my choice. It wasn't anybody else's. He said,
you know what? Let me. You know, managers say a lot of things. Exactly. Managers say a lot of things to protect the club or whatever.
Yeah.
We don't know that's fact. He might have been saying that, but he might have briefed it like that. I don't know.
He would have been naive.
But either way, whoever the manager's decision or not, still, what club operates like that? Do you know what I mean?
Brother, I hear that, but guess what? Respectfully, don't take the job. If you don't think you're built, like again, all I'm saying is steady the ship. I'm not even saying get top 4, maybe top. Bro, just steady the ship. He couldn't steady the ship. For me, I think a telltale sign of if you should keep a manager or not is the players I have at my disposal. I have to make the absolute best out of it. I'm not again. What is our absolute best? Is it 6? Maybe it is. Honestly,
they said that next season it will be 6.
If we were sitting in 6 top 6, we're 6th or 7th. I can hear it because at least we were moving up the table slightly from where we were. I get that. I'm not expecting him to break into the top 4, go on an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer type run when he first got the job. At a minimum, though, how about win back-to-back games in the Premier League? Can you do that? Like, you know what I'm saying? In 6 months, or was almost 7 months? Can you win 2 games in a row in the Premier League? Like, these are like this is just.
Yeah, let me get these super.
It's been 3 months, Tammy. It's been 3 months since we won a game outside of the bottom 3.
Yeah, we got to speak on some transfers because obviously, like I said, we could be here talking about Amorim all day long, but you know what will be beyond Amorim is some signings, isn't it? Because it's always the signings that stay. Manager always goes, man. Let's get some super chats, guys. 1.2K in the building. Big up everyone who got the membership there. I just gifted out some memberships, so big up to you lot. Adi Wali says City in for Wirtz and Reinders while we are going for Ederson. Why can't we go for top quality guys, not just okay players? I don't want Delap, another young striker who needs time. Plus, Xerxes is better than him. Amorim won't make it. Adewale continues to say Ederson does not get into any top 6 midfield, so why we are buying him. Soon said, big up Saeed in the panel. Hit the likes. Let's get to 750 likes quick. Let's appreciate Saeed's grind, and I'm not even a United fan. Big up to you, my bro, always. Ruben doesn't know how to beat English teams. United are 16th with these players playing his system. If we play another counter-attacking football which suits most of his players, we could possibly finish anywhere between 8th and 12th. But is that what we really want? Facts. Amrin out says 7-inch says Amrin out didn't improve any single fraud. Eric Ten Hag was here for 2.5 years, spent 600 M's on like 14 players. We shouldn't be comparing the 2 managers. Eric Ten Hag built this squad how he wanted. We have Garnacho and Hoyland starting every week, and we expect him to finish top half of the table. Low, these guys are worse than championship players. Just Waffling says the last press conference he was basically saying you can fire me. 1 preseason isn't enough to fix a low level of morale. Transfer money can't buy confidence. I'm worried. And Michael says sacking without replacement is okay for the coach, but not for players. I mean, guys, we've been linked with Delap here. We'll start off with Delap, and then we'll get on to other signings. So the latest on Delap is that Man United are close to making an agreement with Delap, but the problem is he's waiting to see if we get Champions League football. That is the feeling right now. He's waiting for Man United if they make Champions League. So I don't know, man. Like, you know, the feeling of Delap 2 months ago versus now. How does everyone feel when you look at what Chelsea could get, what teams around us could get? Like, do you not think Delap's the answer, or do you? Because I'm not gonna look at it now thinking I think we need 2 strikers because we need a Delap and we need an Osimhen. But then it's like, if you do that, are you gonna get a Cunha? Are you gonna get an Embuemo? Are you gonna get, you know, what are you gonna get? Like, what are we saying, Ange? How are you feeling? Delap, fancy him? Not fancy him? What are you saying, Ange? You're on mute, I think. You're on mute.
Hey, can you hear me? So there's not a lot of 20, 30 goal strikers in Europe or around the world, man. Like, even if you look at PSG when they were playing against Arsenal, who was their striker? Barcola. They were mixing it up. Whether it was Doué, Barcola. I like my dynamic. Højlund is the worst type of forward for me. Like, cannot control the ball. Like, I like my technical strikers that bring others into the game. And if you've got a good system, you score goals. I'm a big fan of that. Like, I'm a big fan of Xerxes, man. Since the start of the year, how much has he improved, man?
Yeah.
He's like, and how much do we miss him? Like, the way we play changes so much. That's a type of striker. I wish he scored a bit more goals. I wish he was a bit more aggressive around the box. But that's a type of striker. I'm not obsessed with getting a 30-goal-a-year striker. I want somebody that's technically good, that works hard off the ball, and then brings the rest of his teammates into play. But you're not going to find a 30-goal striker. Like, those players just, unless you're going to spend it on Isak or something crazy like that, those players just don't exist. So if we get another striker with thing, I'm happy with that, as long as our forward areas, like a Cunha will score a goal, like a Mount will score your goals, like Ahmad will score your goals, and you've got a good central striker that works hard, brings others into the game. That's the type of football that I enjoy watching. That's a type of striker that I'd want at United, man. I'm not obsessed with a 30-goal-a-year striker. First of all, you can't find them, and if you can, there might be 1 or 2 in the world that do that.
Yeah, but then when you look at the job that's in hand, you know, Ange, it's you know, we're looking at to get to the next level now. You know what I mean? Like, are you a bit worried that there's a lot of pressure on Delap? You know, people have got PTSD with Højlund. I don't think he's the same player as Højlund. I think he's got more to his game. But it's like there's a lot to do right now.
I think if you have Zexi and him in that role, I'm okay with it. I think we've got bigger concerns in midfield, like our central midfield areas. I think we've got bigger concerns there. I'm okay with having them 2 as our front, as long as our 10s are contributing, our wide players are contributing, then I'm okay. Like, I'm not obsessed with finding a talisman, a Ruud van Nistelrooy or a Wayne Rooney. They just don't exist anymore, man. Like, you don't. Yeah, I'd rather get forward players and then a midfielder.
Yeah, what are you lot saying? Tell me, how are you feeling, bro, about Delap, man? Like, is it the answer? Are you what? Like, I don't know, man. I kind of yeah, go on.
You know, here's the thing for me. So, is he a good player? Yes, he's a good player. Completely agree with that. I think he's talented. I think he's athletic. He's a decent finisher. You can see the potential. Like, you can see that there's still levels for him to go if he can, you know, he has the potential to go up a level. Here's my issue with where we are with our striker situation. Never in my lifetime have we relied on young strikers. Like, it's never been a thing for Manchester United. Well, at a minimum, we might have a young striker, but then we're always going to have an experienced striker. You feel me? Somebody who's been there, done that, you know, won at the highest level, right? Even in the last 10 years, if we have Martial, there's always going to be a Zlatan or a Lukaku. You feel me? If we go back a few years, you know, go back to the mid-2000s, you know, when Rooney broke through, Van Nistelrooy was there. You know, when Van Nistelrooy left, we brought in Saha, experienced striker. So, yeah, for me, it's like, it's always, you need an experienced striker, right? If I was us, I wouldn't invest a ton of money, right? I would find one of these, you know, these just experienced, gritty, older strikers, right, that can fill in the gap. And we obviously look at getting a young striker too. So not an expensive striker, right? Get a gritty, experienced vet, bring in a young striker. Like, if you want to get a Delap, just make sure you're not relying on him week in and week out like we tried to do with Højlund, right? Because that's when it gets tricky, because the expectation of a Manchester United striker leading the line is so high. Like, I don't think people understand that. Like, think about it like this. I always put it like this. Is Delap as talented as Anthony Martial was at this point in his life? Like, no. The answer is no. And even then, we were complaining about Martial, people were like, oh, he's inconsistent. He's not good enough. So if that wasn't good enough, will Delap be good enough as a week in and week out starter? My answer would be no. You feel me? That's why I think if you bring him in, I think he's talented, but get a veteran striker, bro. Like the last 2 years have been so bad with relying on a 20-year-old who's just not good enough. You feel me? Like if we had signed, I remember, I think the same season we got Højlund, Marcus Thuram was a free agent, right? And that's when he went to Inter. You feel me? Imagine if we had just signed, and he probably didn't want to come to us, but I'm just saying hypothetically, what if we had gotten Marcus Thuram for free as opposed to spending 70 million on a 20-year-old who, as we all know now, is just not of the level. You feel me? So for me, it's
70 million, 70
million, bro. Like
it's embarrassing.
It's so crazy. You feel me? So again, I do like Delap. I'm not trying to, say I don't want him, but if you're saying we're only getting Delap, I would honestly say let's focus on other things, bro. Let's focus on a vet.
We get Delap and we get 2 good 10s. What about if we get
even
Delap?
Then, bro? Even then, bro. Even
that's
then,
the
bro.
case, no? Is that not? That's not the whole.
That's
thing.
the hope.
That would be my preference. Yeah.
That's the hope.
I like the idea, Timmy. I like your idea around like a cheap, like Real Madrid. They got Højlund before they brought in Mbappe.
Exactly.
Yeah. Højlund, he was a cheap, a few $1 million.
And they probably could have done. They would have done well with him this season. Real Madrid would have done well with him.
Probably better.
Trust and believe.
But hold on a minute.
Trust and believe.
Let's be honest though. That's Højlund with Vinny Jr., Rodrigo, Bellingham, Modric. Like them, they got bare man behind them. Think about like Igalo, bro. Like, bro, he was scoring goals.
Yeah,
bro. I'm not trying to be funny. He was scoring goals.
But can we be
honest? I like the idea of doing something just cheap, an older guy. If you're going to bring a Delap in, bring an older guy that can play, maybe 15, 20 games for the season, maybe a bit more. I don't mind that. Like a cheap loan or a cheap $5 million.
He's an older guy, though. There's not many older guys that are.
There's plenty.
Yeah, there's like Cavani. Cavani, when we got Cavani in, remember we got Cavani in for free on a free transfer? That would be perfect. There's no one of Cavani's quality on the market now, but yes, I agree with that. But I'm not a fan of bringing in 2 new strikers where you're spending big money on both.
Right.
That I'm not.
Yeah, but Teta's the perfect one. I can't lie. 28 years old. Go on.
Does he have a contract?
No, he's got 1 year left. What's it called? The logical idea of bringing in 2 strikers this summer is out of bounds. We need so much different things that going to cost a bit of money. Where you're talking about a centre mid, we're talking about Ederson. They're going to want like 55, 60 million. Cunha stretched over what amount? If we get Champions League, we're looking at Mbumos, and I don't know why we're looking at Semenyo like he's ever played on the inside before. Anyways, that's just a howler in my opinion. You might as well just go back. You might as well just go pay 2 wingers at this rate. And then you're looking at other positions, goalkeeper, maybe they're clearly looking at some sort of centre back of some sort as well. Maybe talk about wing back as well. That's not sorted out just yet. We need to fix our first 11 before thinking about anything beyond that. I feel like if you're going to go get someone, why do you need to rush the idea now? No, we're not going to win no European competition next year anyways. We need to fix the 11 and make sure we get that correct. If you want to go and get somebody else for a few million, but then you're stuck with him for the next 3-4 years. And then what else are you going to get? You're going to be like, oh, who's going to take this guy? So for me, if you're looking at anyone, it's on a free market. And that's looking at someone like Jonathan David. For me, if you want to rotate someone with Delap, I feel like there's no other situation. Well, there's no other strikers out there that's going to be available for us. Don't look at Gyökeres. Like, stop looking at him. He's got an agreement with Arsenal. I'm telling you now, he's going to Arsenal, yeah? Or bide the time and wait till next season because we can't get everything done in one season.
No,
I feel like we've got in his head that we.
By the way, Delap's a great deal, yeah. £30-something million release clause. That's a great deal for Delap. He's a $50-60 million in the market. He's $50-60 million in the market. We're getting him for low 30s. Is it $32 million release clause?
Yeah, so if we get him for 30, right, which is a great deal, plus a vet striker, whatever, it's a free agent. Like look at like Taremi.
I'll be happy.
Yeah, how much will Mateta cost though?
40, 50, because he's got 1 year left.
Strike to 70 million. I don't think that's a bad idea.
Allegedly, little whispers saying that his wage demands are super high right now.
Who, Delap?
No, Mateta.
Mateta, nah. What's he on?
Do we know?
He's on small wages, but allegedly he wants super high wages. Man. No, but that might not be. I don't want to assassinate his character or agent's character of some sort. But there's a reason why a lot of allegedly again a lot of teams are not moving in for him. They're saying something similar to Ivan Toney's situation. Saudi want him.
Okay.
Do you think we can move off Højlund this year? Do you think we can move off?
Yes, we need to. We need to. We need to.
I don't think we'll sell him. I don't think we'll get enough money on the books. I
Brother,
think it's gonna be a loan.
We'll fund it.
It'll be a loan. I think it'll be a loan. Again, if you want to get something good on the books, we're not going to get anything over for what we've like. That's going to be.
No, we're not.
30 million. I was thinking 30 million.
It'll be a loan. It'll be a loan, man.
To get a profit, we'll have to sell it for 35 million or 30 million around there.
We're not getting that.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Sancho apparently might be going to Fenerbahce as well. We need to get these little fees here and there, bro. Let's get.
You know what I realized, Saeed? Sancho's.
Yeah, go on.
Sancho's 25 years old now. That freaked me out when I saw that
that's
today.
old, you know. I feel that's still young, you know. I feel that's
Still young.
No, but I thought about him when we signed him when he was 2021. I'm like, it's been that long already. Like, I just realized, you know, when somebody's age surprises you? I'm like, oh shit, he's older than I thought, man. He's an old man now.
Yeah. But Fenerbahce, I don't know what they're willing to pay, but they need to be paying at least around 25 million, 30 million.
Yeah, but they got money. The Turkish league's got money, bro. They got money.
We need to get out of our heads, like, please, even in the chat. 27, 28, 25 is not old in football.
Bro, I know, man.
When did we get to this stage in our lives? I don't know how old everyone is, obviously. I can only have a guess. That's not old. Prime age used to be called 28, 29. Prime age is now somehow referred to 25. How?
25, yeah, it is, yeah. It's gone.
Players play longer now, too. Players play longer than they used to.
Prime years is like what I'm at right now. At 29 years, I'm in my prime years.
It used to be your prime, but I feel like your prime's gone a bit younger now. It's more 25 now.
But why? Players play for a longer period of time now. They go on to 35, 36, and they're still balling out.
Yeah. It depends on the league. Yeah, it does depend on the league as well. Charles, you gonna say something there, bro?
I was just saying 27 to 32 is your prime years, isn't it? That's what.
Yeah, really.
I agree. I agree.
But just quickly on Temi's point, I agree. If you get like I'm not saying I want him, but like a Morata type player in terms of a veteran.
100%, bro.
Listen, I didn't say I want Morata. Chill. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Off the bench, Morata.
Why Morata starts for Spain, guys? Like, chill out, bro.
No, he's good.
But yeah, just having someone.
They need to retire for Spain.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just agreeing with Temi that if you bring in Delap, there's no harm in getting a backup of like a veteran for like 5 million or something. And also, I feel like the 10s are more important. If you get goal scoring 10s like a Cunha, yeah, and you start getting more goals from your 10s and spread out the goals, because you've seen teams like Liverpool who play with Firmino, the Jotas. Do you get what I'm saying? If you have a guy there that provides link-up play and gets your 10s involved, he doesn't have to always be scoring goals. And Delap can provide that as well. 12 goals that he's got this season. So yeah, just touching on Temi's point, I agree with you, Temi.
Who those strikers that you got in mind potentially? Has you got any at the top of your head?
Honestly, I don't.
I'd have to look at the transfer market.
I don't start looking at the transfer market until like.
He's been good this season. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, he's been good. Look at some of his finishes though. But the thing is, his finishes are always in the box.
Yeah,
I like that, bro. I like that.
What's more important, a striker or a...
By the way, Dovbyk is Dov shit. Let's get that straight. And Retegui, after watching him at tonight, he will get eaten alive in a Prem. Yeah. Okay, how many goals he scores in Serie A?
By the way, what's the latest on the Cunha, man, guys? What's the latest? It's getting a bit cold now.
Bro, I'm here.
Apparently,
basically, it's agreed. I thought it was agreed, say 65 million pounds and a $5 million extra.
Fabrizio got an update, innit? He's basically just said what he said last week.
There's a new $5 million fee on top that I didn't know about.
Yeah, it's only an extra few million, so you can amortize it.
Here we go. Right now. Yeah, we got an up. Well, I'm gonna see if this is an update. If it's just waffle, let me just see it right now. It's just tweeted right now. Guys, keep hitting the like button. We need 500 likes, man. Come on, guys.
Did you hear Amram paid for all the staff's tickets?
Yeah, we're gonna speak on that. I think it's shocking, man. Absolute disgrace, man. But it's just scruffy Jim, innit? You know what, man? I don't even want to agree with Steve, but he's actually right, man. Scruffy Jim, mate. That might be his name now. Jim Ratcliffe, innit? No changes on Man United and Matheus Cunha deal. Talks remain ongoing with positive feelings on both sides. The deal remains at an advanced stages, working on details on the agreement.
He
Bro,
said
like,
more. He said more on YouTube though.
What did he say?
More of a breakdown. He said they're discussing the details of the agreement with the player, and then they'll meet with
Yeah, the
Wolves to
personal
find.
terms, yeah.
Then they'll meet with Wolves to find a solution for the payment structure for the of the release clause, basically. So, yeah, that's it. So
I think you know what part of it is. You know what part of it is? If we make Champions League, he's going to get bigger wage. So,
Swear down. Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
part of it.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Someone mentioned Wolves has a game coming up soon, one of their final games. There could be like it was just a guessing thing. I think it might be new shows, to be fair. You mentioned along the lines like Wolves have got their last final home game. You might want to say goodbye. It's not the end of the season one, it's the one before. So it might be it might be like
you know what's
a
funny?
goal.
You know what's funny? I was watching a video on the Wolves YouTube channel with they did a piece on Cunha. It was like a 20-minute piece. Like, if anybody's interested, it's on the Wolves YouTube channel. And he was going around the whole training ground, and he's friends with everybody. They all love him. Like, he's highly respected within the building, man, which is important. You need that's the other thing is you need good people to come to your club. That's how you improve your club. It's about the people, like high quality characters, people that are friends with the kitchen lady, people that are friends with all the staff. You know, all that stuff's important, man. Rio talks about this.
You didn't
like all the stuff around.
Did you not hear though? You know, because he had one incident with someone that was apparently, you know, having a go about his family. Yeah, like he's apparently his attitude stinks all of a sudden. Apparently, like, you know,
attitude hype, bro. Attitude hype, bro.
No, they love him. They made him captain for a reason. But all the kitchen ladies love him. He was kissing him, hugging him. Like, he was highly respected person at the club, man. So I'm excited about
ego. We need egos in the team, bro. We're lacking egos in the team. You know what I mean? People that have the ego and it can actually you know, we've got ego, but without the ability. We need ego with ability. This guy's got ego.
Garnacho's the poster boy.
Yeah,
Garnacho's
Garnacho's a good one. Even Hoyland, man. You know what I'm saying? But Shells, go ahead. What are you gonna say?
No, sorry to cut you off, bro. I was just saying there's nothing wrong with your strikers having a certain level of arrogance to them. Like, what are we doing here, guys? Yeah. You need that. Stop feeding into what the media say.
Bro.
Go and watch the Wolves channel. Like he said, if a guy's well respected in the dressing room, that's all you need to know. So don't matter what the media is saying, bro. If you want, I want my strikers, my players to show a bit of fight on the pitch because our team is soft right now. So, bro,
Facts, bro. This is elite level sport.
It's simple.
I'm excited for if we get him in the team, you add in with Ahmad, you add in with like maybe a healthy Mount, like it starts to look a bit exciting, man. It starts to look a bit exciting.
What? What did you just say?
Don't dismiss Mount. Don't dismiss Mount.
Hey, Mountain is not a bad player, bro. Like, can I say that, bro?
2-3 goals.
It has nothing to do with goals, bro.
2-3 goals, and
he's just injury prone. He's just injury prone. I don't think he's a bad player.
There was this one pass he did. Can I just say something? There was this one pass.
Cross-field pass.
I can't.
To Ahmad? No one in our team can do that. No, by the way.
Swap.
No one in our team can do that.
Do you mind thank you, man. I
know what it is with Mason Mount, yeah? It's one of them where, for me, I don't rate him in it, but he's got to stay fit, though, man. If he wants to perform,
that's literally
United,
That's
he's got to stay fit
and get rid of the number.
He's a squad player, bro.
And say, even you'll admit, even if you don't rate him, even you will admit that it's hard to assess somebody if they're never fit. Like we haven't been able to fairly say he's a shit player or a good player because we haven't seen him play.
I'd start him in the 10 ahead of Garnacho in the final.
Oh, absolutely.
Of course
Yeah.
He's not even 10. Bro, he's 10
more like
the player Garnacho. He's literally
more
10
intelligence than Garnacho. He's got more intelligence than
Garnacho. We've seen Mason Mount be a part of a Champions League final winning team and play the whole way through.
And Europa League. I think was he not a part
of the Europa player of the season in that year?
Yeah,
that year they won the Champions League.
Is he a world class player? Listen, is he a world class player? Absolutely not.
You know what I mean?
But is he a good Premier League player that we've seen get top 4 and get to the Champions League final?
I think he's mid to average. I'll be honest with you. I don't.
What does he excel at?
He's a good player.
He can do a job here and there, and like you can press.
He's a good
player. Can we stop this though? Like the guy earns 250 grand or whatever he earns.
That's the crazy part.
Also, he wears number 7, and also he hasn't been fit in 2 years. What kind of leeway are we giving to this brother? He needs to go. He's rubbish.
That's a club problem. That's our culture.
That's not his.
I hear it, but I'm not trying to give a man that's not being fit for 2 years. That's Luke Shaw basically in attacking mid. I'm not hearing it. Like,
okay, how about like Anthony? Wait, how about like Anthony? How about Anthony, bro?
Get rid.
Yeah, okay, fine. I hear you there, but I don't rate him, right? But do I think like in this system he could have done a job at left wing back? I do, and I don't even rate him. I don't even rate him as a player.
I don't want players that can do jobs. I want players that can thrive regardless. He needs to go. Go be fit somewhere else. That's what I
Tell
think.
me what is Mount's attributes?
I feel like I keep repeating myself about Mount. It's that I don't rate him. I would like to sell him, but the problem is like he's rated by the manager. So you know what I mean? There's nothing
most managers will rate him. I think most managers will rate him. Like I'm sure if he was fit, I'm sure if he was fit, most managers would.
He's a teacher's pet. No, he's a teacher's pet. He's like McTominay.
No, because you know why?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you know why? Because he brings a certain level of standard to training that they all like. He trains.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
And like his work rate off the ball, like he's dynamic, like he's able to create space for others. That's what they like about him. He runs all day. Can you tell me? And he's not brilliant, but technically he's sound. Like he's technically sound. He's not brilliant.
All right, can you tell me?
But the thing is.
Oh, go on. I thought you was cutting. I thought he was going. I thought he was going to stop.
No, finish. Go.
I was going to say, can anyone here tell me where he excels at on the ball? What's he key on the ball? Let me know. Not off the ball. What is he good at on the ball?
I think he's tidy on the ball in terms of retaining. He's good on the half. He's good on the half turn.
Is that a speciality? Is that a speciality then?
Especially, I don't. He's
like, is that what he's special? Like, you know,
like
I think he does most things on the ball at an above average level. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
What does he do poorly on the ball? You tell me. What does he do poorly on the ball?
He doesn't thrive in any area. That's my issue.
No, what does he do poorly on the ball?
Well, he's weak for one. He's only got one skill set.
He never gets pushed off the ball.
He's got one skill.
He's not Bruno. He's stronger than Bruno.
He's got one skill, which is the half turn.
Get on the ball and start dictating. He's not that sort of player.
He don't score goals.
I'm not half turn, run into space. He's not a player that will you will see like being a.
He's not expansive. He's not an expansive player. I don't need everybody to be an expansive player. Listen, we spent way too much money on him. I can see that.
Agree.
I will never. We spent too much in his wages and we spent too much in the transfer fee. But again, I'm talking about, is he a net positive to a squad? My answer would be yes. He's a net positive to pretty much any squad if he's fit. That's all I'm saying. I think we had this thing of like, and it's the club's fault again. It's like we overspend on like Hoyland is a net negative to his squad, right? 70 million pounds net negative to any squad he joins. Garnacho net negative to a squad. I think Mace, if again squad player, breaking into the starting lineup, I think he's a net positive if he's fit.
And like if you think about the player he is, he's the type of player that would perform well in a big European away final. Like he's the type of player that will do his job. Like one of those players. I'm just saying. Remember we used to have Darren above average back in the day. Ferguson used to have like a Darren Fletcher in the team. Somebody that does their job.
Chaz, what do you think we're saying about him though? Are you saying he's shit? Are you saying he's shit? Do you think he's shit, Kaz?
Oh, I just think he's a master of nothing. I think he's bang average. I don't want to give a chance to a guy that's not been fit for 2 years. He's actually, I think he's pretty useless. Doesn't add to goals, doesn't add to assists, barely contributes to a midfield. He's got a decent.
He's going to score now. He's going to score. He's going to score in the final now.
I've got one of those in Xerxes, to be fair, who's like a much more upgraded version of Mount. Like I don't need another one of those.
I think they're completely different players.
Brother, the one when it comes to scoring goals and assists, Xerxes ain't there exactly, but he's a better ball carrier, stronger, finds himself in better situations. I'm not trying to.
You know what's this man? We're debating Mount, yeah. We're debating Mount, yeah. Man, he's about to go and get Florian Wirtz, yeah, and Tijani Reinders, and we are here. And again, I'm not saying it's Mount's fault, but look at the levels where Man City are trying to get to. They're getting Florian Wirtz potentially and Tijani Reinders. Talk about upgrades. What
are we even allowed to do? Do we even have the funds to do that? Like realistically, can we spend 100 million on Florian Wirtz right now? Can we with the state of our squad?
I'm letting you know we do that. Barometer, the standards that we have.
All I said, he's a decent
we got to hope
player.
If they go and get him in pre-season, we got to hope someone classes that ankle. Simple as that, because that needs to slow down a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
I'm going to say something on this as well. So, first of all, Temi said was that he's a decent squad player.
He's a decent player. That's all I said. I didn't say he was a world-class player.
No, but I'm saying
listen, whether we like it or not, Mount is going to be here next season.
Yeah, exactly. I'm tired.
K a week. So, bro, end of the day, hopefully he can just stay fit and he can give us an option off the bench. I'm not saying he needs to be starting next season. We need, like Kaza said,
bench player, I don't mind. But then again,
you can't sell everybody.
A bench player that costs $250 a week. It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah,
When you do.
again, Saeed, I keep going back to it. That's not him. That's the
It's not
coach.
him.
That's the player. That's the guys who are making the decision of the club. Do you get what I'm saying? So we can't
no, we're
hold
fucked,
that
we're
accountable to Mount.
That's what I said to you, man.
Did Ineos didn't do that. Ineos didn't do that.
This is going to be great. Then watch him be unfit. Watch in preseason, he's got an ankle injury or he's got some sort of mental injury.
That is the issue.
And he wears our number 7. He needs to get rid of that number 7 and put less pressure on
Cunha, them man should take it off him.
Cunha will take 10. Cunha will take 10.
You know how Cavani got shagged by Ronaldo, yeah?
Yeah.
I think Cunha will take 10, to be fair.
Otherwise, Liverpool won the league with Luis Diaz up front. Y'all got stopped with the nonsense about getting a striker that scores only. Get high quality players all around the pitch and we score goals. I agree with that notion as well. I agree.
Well, let's be real. That worked for like 5. That worked for like 5 games.
Sorry?
That only worked for like 5 games.
Right, you know what? But the thing is, you have to rely on a system that is so strong where we're getting goals from everyone, man. And
it's not a system, though, Saeed, is it? It's not just the system, bro. Look at our spine. Our spine is so weak. It's weak.
Bro, you know what's worrying about me? Yeah? With the lack of midfielders we're getting linked to, I'm worried, you know, man.
It's like we got number 1 and only number 1 target only.
Yeah, bro. Normally, I hear bare midfielders we've been linked with. What's going on with the midfield links, man? Like this Ederson, for me, it just seems a bit too easy just to be linked with Ederson, bro. You get me? Like we've been linked with Ederson for the past 3 years, bro. You know?
You know what I think? You know what I think Amran's thinking about? He wants to play Bruno in a deeper role next season.
Oh, man.
Because if he gets a couple of 10s, if he gets a Cunha, if he's got Mount fit, I think that's what he's thinking. That
what are you doing? What do you mean if he's got Mount fit? Stop doing that. Why are you
No, but he's thinking about
Mbeumo or Semenyo or Turkey. Just like
because if we get a Cunha,
you make me sick. I'm about to make tea, man. You make me sick.
Go ahead, Ange. Go ahead, Ange.
If you've got a Cunha in the team, and you bring in another centre forward, and then you bring potentially another number 10 in, I think he's thinking, let's play Bruno in a deeper role. That's what he likes, Bruno in that role.
This guy, Bruno, man. That is the nasty.
No, he's just shoehorning Bruno again, man. I'm tired,
bro. Get rid of this guy. Get rid of this guy.
Everybody said he's world class. He's the world class. We can't sell him for 100 million.
He's so mid, bro. I can't even.
That just shows you, innit? The reason why we're only buying one midfielder is because we see Bruno in.
Yes. You know what is so crazy? Like another thing I said about Amorim is, if he plays Bruno week in, week out, and Bruno is undroppable like he is with every other manager, I'm out. And he's done that. Like, I'm just like, as a club, it seems like as a club, and I think probably like 80% of the fans think that Bruno is a world-class player. I do think most fans think he's a top player, bro. When I say this guy is so mid, it's like we are shoehorning him into teams, right? To accommodate him. Like, and it just doesn't make any sense. Why are we playing Bruno? Like, for me, it's just like we need somebody who is robust in midfield, right? Somebody like, how do I explain this? Bruno is a luxury player. Bruno is the definition of a luxury player. Like, he makes more mistakes than he makes correct decisions, in my opinion, right? So if we're saying, oh, we're only going to sign one midfielder because, we got Bruno that can play number 8, it's just like,
it's a poor way of thinking.
What are we doing here?
Because Bruno, like I said to you, yes, you can play him in the team, and if you've started him, cool. But there needs to be a depth in like that position there. Like, get rid, because now for me, I look at Højlund, I'm worried for Højlund, even though I think he's a talented player. Ugarte, I can't lie to you, man. We might have made a mistake.
You think Højlund's a talented player?
It might be an L that
Scott McTominay is about to win a Scudetto, bro.
Let me land on
replace him.
The whole Scott McTominay thing, yeah. We actually, United are criminals of misprofiling players, bro. Because Scott McTominay is doing his thing as an advanced midfielder.
Yeah, I know.
We played him as a number 6. So that just because he's doing his thing, and it doesn't mean we shouldn't have sold him. Where I was so hell bent, man, them can go back on my channel and see. I said I'm not having Ugarte here because he's a liability on the ball, and he gets
It's a liability, man.
Ball back. Bro, my player for a United midfielder, I've seen Michael Carrick, I've seen Paul Scholes. I'm old enough to have seen these brothers. I've seen even Owen Hargreaves. I've even seen Ryan Giggs at 39, boss of midfield.
Oh, Darren Fletcher. Darren Fletcher.
Even give me a John O'Shea in midfield.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Ugarte is not it. Like,
you know when
we need some midfielders.
Yeah. The thing is, Ugarte in a 4-3-3, yeah, you might be able to see it materialize because all midfield, the three in midfield are connected in a certain way. But in this system here, bro, like I actually watched the game back, you know. Man lost the ball, yeah, and then he actually just sat there and just said, yo, bam. I don't know what to do. He had almost like a brain freeze, you know.
He was deflated, bro. You know what it is? It's like he is. I'm not gonna say what I was about to say. Long story short, I agree with my man Shells. He's just not good enough on the ball. We spent 60 million on PSG's fourth or fifth best midfielder, bro. Think about that. Like they have at their disposal right now, they have Zaire Emery, they have Fabian Ruiz.
Fabian Ruiz is the one man I wanted, man.
They have that, bro. I wanted, bro. I was talking about him. I was talking about him before we got Bruno, bro. Like that's how much I read him. João Neves, right? They have the Kang kid who plays in midfield, also plays out wide. Like he's not better than any of those players. He's not better than any of those players. And we spent 60 million on him. It's like,
you know what I'm gonna do?
Oh man.
You know what I'm gonna do? Yeah, look. People might think I've got bad ball knowledge. Yeah, like I swear down, bro. I'm not having this on my name, yeah, because, bro, I might have got an L, yeah, with this Ugarte one, yeah, but I wanted Fabian Ruiz, yeah, in the summer of 2022. I remember he was at
Napoli.
Sorry, he was at Napoli,
yeah.
And I wanted him.
Bro, he was
I wanted him,
good, bro.
People can say, yeah, I got it wrong with Ugarte. You know what I mean? L knowledge.
Hey. Guess who said he was too slow?
Hey?
Guess who said he's too slow for the Prem and he's not showing him that he's actually going to work?
Who said that?
The one who he treats United fans like Republicans. Big up devil in the details, Danny.
Oh, he said it, yeah.
Oh, I remember being on Spaces about this. Don't hide from that one.
Wow.
Anyways,
Wow.
I'd say don't sleep on Ugarte too much because
Only reason being,
yeah, you lot are talking about Mount. I'm hearing Mason Mount prop, yeah.
No, better than Ugarte.
Wait.
Better than Ugarte.
No, stop it right now. Yeah. Stop it. I don't know why you're rolling your eyes like a bad bee, yeah. But honestly, my life, you're propping Mason Mount, and yet we've got someone who can come off the bench. Yeah, more time than less, and shut up shop and just keep things solid. Yeah, the guy who's actually available more time that can provide energy and what we need to do. Yeah, and just be a camp man, the squad player. Right now, Ugarte is not that guy. But even then, Mason Mount's been in this Premier League for years. The guy's landed in one of the worst United sides that can't even go forward.
He don't have as bad as games as Ugarte does. That's the thing.
Yeah, but I've seen Ugarte also have thriving big games as well. Like just doing.
I've seen Mason Mount thrive in big games at Chelsea. What are we talking about,
bro? How long ago was that?
2 years ago. 2 years ago.
No, my brother. He was injured for that Chelsea season. We're going back 4 years.
It's been 4 years. Has it been?
It's been 4. Yes, it has been 4 years. He's been at us for 2 seasons. The season he was at Chelsea before he left.
No, you're right. You're right.
4 years ago. I'm not saying he's the being an end all, yeah, but I think we'll learn to appreciate Ugarte more when we have a better squad. You want to use the same argument?
I could say the same about Mason. I could say that, bro. They're both worth 60 million, right?
Yeah, but
we clearly overpaid for both of them. Can we agree to that? I think
but can we also agree that Mason Mount hasn't been fit for 3 years, so there's no base to go off of.
I hear that. I hear Kaz. Yeah, I hear Kaz. Kaz, I completely agree with you on you saying, listen, you know what I'm saying? We it's been 2 years, bro. He can't get fit. You know, we should get. I hear that. And if he was to leave tomorrow, I'd be like, bet. You feel me? I'm just talking about him as a player. The same way you're talking about Ugarte. Like I can kind of hear what you're saying on Ugarte. It's like if we had a better squad and he wasn't relied on playing week in, week out.
Come off the bench.
He could do. And I would say the same about Mace, bro.
I
don't
hear
think
it. I hear it.
you know what I'm saying?
For that part. But the thing is, I don't trust Mason Mount to be fit. If there's a loan, if there's a loan that comes in for him this summer, and we've got enough, get rid.
I hear that.
Is the availability now?
The other thing
is almost availability now. Yeah, overrated now in terms of like at United as well. Availability normally is your best ability, but now I think it's overrated because Lindelof's available nowadays. You know what I mean? Like there's so many players that are just been available and still rubbish.
I think it is though, Saeed. I don't know if anyone disagrees, but it's because every time one of our better players is out, Ahmad, Xerxes, we got nothing. They're just not available. We've got nothing. You got nothing. And availability is like when you're relying on someone, but he's just come back. Oh, he's injured again.
Yeah, he's injured again. Yeah.
Like Ahmad hasn't had the best luck with fitness, but he's so good that you just like when he's on the pitch, you just like you accept it. You know what I'm saying?
He's one of them players that can just jump back in and then like you don't need River to get going.
To Kaz's point, he is like from an overarching perspective, he's right. You can't rely on players like Shaw and Mount that just cannot stay fit. Even though I think they're talented players, they cannot stay fit. You see what I'm saying? So I hear that from a big term perspective. Yeah.
What we saying about Kobe Mainu? Because obviously, you know, I mean, if we do keep this manager and for somewhat reason he's a sacrificial lamb, you know, someone that we may see as someone we can sell, he might say to himself, "Yo, I'm not really feeling this anymore. I want to leave." Would you mind be open to selling Kobe Mainu?
No, I wouldn't.
I want to sell him.
What do you think?
No. Selling Mainu,
yeah, just to get like more midfielders in, or just because he doesn't want to be here and he's not fit the system.
He hasn't turned 20 yet, has he? He's still.
No, he has.
He turned 20. He turned 20.
He has.
He turned 20. Yeah, he turned 20
recently. Yeah, he's still pretty young. I'd want to keep him. Obviously not on crazy wages. Like the other thing is, I think Amon wants to let him know, and I agree with this. Like you haven't made it yet. Like don't think you've made it. Like that's the thing. He's still got a lot of improvement to do. He obviously stagnated a little bit compared to when he was first. I was so like when he got the ball in the middle of the park, I was so comfortable last year that he would make a good decision. Now sometimes you're a bit worried. Either he's going to get stripped of the ball and then he's going to struggle to run back defensively. So we're seeing some of his weaknesses, but it's not the right time to sell him, man. You can when you're that age, you've got time. You can sell him in 2 years' time. You can sell him. It's not like he's 29 and you have to cash in now. He's still a baby. Let him improve. And maybe Amron's not getting the best out of him. Maybe Amron doesn't know how to get the best. Maybe a new manager.
I think that's the key. I think that's the key, bro. Is the manager's been misprofiling him since he got to the club. Like we saw him start. He started him off playing as an 8. In this particular system, I don't think he can. He's an 8, right? I think he's more suited playing the number 10 role. It alleviates some his defensive deficiencies are hidden more when he's playing as a number 10 in this system. You feel me? But again, like remember that game where he had I can't remember who it was against. He had a great game at number 10, right? And then the following game,
I think it was Europa League.
Yeah, and then the following game he played him as striker.
Yeah,
and it's like, yo.
To be fair, he wasn't that bad at striker. When I remember for the first 20 minutes, he should have buried something. He was all right, but then the team. I think he hit the post one of them.
It's just like I don't think he should be starting week in, week out, but I still think he's one of our better players. I still like because of where we are, I would still say he's one of our 5
best players. Talented players, man.
I would say he's one of our 5. I would say he's one of our 5 best players right now. Even with his deficiencies. So
bro, people are forgetting what he did to the Euros against Netherlands, man.
He has top level player potential, bro. He does, but I think that we need to one profile him correctly, and then 2 make sure that like we're not forcing him to play week in, week out. Like no.
So Timmy, can I just add one point to? I am so sick and tired. I'm sorry. We had this debate last time. I'm sick and tired of Amron's press conferences and talking everybody down and being so negative.
I don't listen to
that. Yeah, I know.
I love it.
I'm telling you, no. So it's one of the worst things you can do. When he first came in and he won, remember he won 2-0 against Everton? We beat Everton. Rashford scored a couple of 3. Was it 4? How many goals did we score in that Everton game? 4-0. And he said, after that press conference, I was shocked to hear that he said, the storm is going to come. we're going to be really bad.
I remember
We're
you
gonna lose
saying that. I remember you saying
It's
that.
the, honestly, this is the dumbest. I cannot never
So
back
he
this
told the
because
truth.
that's the
I
problem.
mean,
That's
it's
your
not the truth,
problem.
but then there's also telling the
It's not
truth.
about
Yeah.
the truth.
But then,
It's not about the truth.
almost like
Brother.
I don't know,
This
man.
is the,
It's-
no,
you
that's
know
not what it
what, I don't
is.
know,
man.
Let
You
me
lot,
make my point, and then you can
Go-
jump in.
Yeah, go on, fair,
I'm
man.
happy for you to. So let me make my point. So as a United manager,
Mhm.
your job is to build the confidence within the players. Sometimes irrational confidence. They believe they can do anything because you've built it into them. Every training session, you're saying, "Hey, you're amazing. You can do this. You can do this." So players go on the pitch. They can receive the ball in tight areas. They feel confident. But if you say there's a storm coming, why are you bringing your problems forward? There might be in the back of your head. You might be thinking there's a storm coming. Why are you bringing that problem from? You won 4-0. Just say, "Hey, there are a lot of things we did, but I'm excited about where we can improve. You know, I'm excited about where this player can go. I'm excited about where this player can go." Build a level of confidence. It doesn't mean you're not demanding. It doesn't mean that you don't expect the expectations are not high. But when you tell your players you're crap, our team is crap, they're going to play like crap. There's no two ways about it, and that's what's been happening. Like I can't believe that's sports psychology 101. You have to be a positive mindset where you go, "I'm excited about where this player can go. I'm impressed about this." But behind the scenes, you're always at him. You're telling him, "I want you to improve here. I want you to improve there." It's the worst way to manage a squad, and it's
Brother,
and that's
you're
why they have
in
low
the
confidence.
Lululand. You're in the Lululand. You don't know what's going on
What
behind
have
the
I
scenes.
said that's deluded though? What have I said that's deluded?
But you just told us what's been going on behind the scenes, allegedly. Like, oh, you told us that behind the scenes. What are you there? Are you there to
No.
know what's going on behind the scenes? You just stated that, my bro, twice.
No, but wait. You said I was deluded.
Brother, you're moving deluded
explain-
because you know what, yeah? You know what, not just you, but a lot of us, yeah? Ollie's
Yeah.
super positive, can't stand it. Ten Hag, boring, undeniable, and all that kind of stuff. When he first come through the door, refreshing. We do this all the time. Refreshing is the word. Oh, it's nice to hear this, yeah? The team is shit, yeah? And I mean, don't need to
no, but
tell
what
us
he's trying to
they're
say
rubbish.
though, Kazi, I think you misinterpreted
You know
what he
what
said.
I'm trying
He's-
I know
Where
what he
we-
said. I know what he said. I know what he
Well,
said.
you
he's
said
trying to
words
say-
without-
Us United fans can't ever make our minds up on what kind of thing we like because I remember being on here and we revisited what's the name? Rangnick used to say, but we had a whole debate, Saeed, and this wasn't even that long ago. And we said that's refreshing. Oh, why we not go back to that? Now we get someone that actually speaks the truth here. These players know from us in the damn, you would know, Saeed, in a damn stadium or from here. They're shit anyways. He said the storm's coming. Guess what? The storm is coming. I think it's refreshing because guess what? He's literally, I feel like, actually, here you go, is another example. When Arsene Wenger come through the door, yeah, he wasn't trying to prove to the players that he's the guy or whatever. They had to prove to him that they were good enough to stay at that club. So he put them to the test. And guess what? Got rid of, buried them and got in a fresh new batch of players. So right now, I feel like for me, he's tested them. And now everyone can see not good enough, not good enough, not good enough. Got nowhere to hide. And
But the
even
thing
if he's
is,
not
though,
a
in
guy,
hindsight now,
yeah.
now you've heard that, yeah. Sometimes, yeah. Listen, at that moment, yeah, I agree where I'm just coming from because I think it sets the precedent as to what's to come. And then if you're not able to kind of turn that around, you then look like, right, you're talking about all these storms and that, bro. You can't even get back-to-back games, my G. Like, talk about storms, yeah? You can't even get the shit, you know what I mean, back on track at least. You feel me? Like, do something, bro.
Saeed,
And I think that's
when you win games,
No, you
build
can't
on the
make your mind
positive.
up, man.
If you win a game,
You
I'm
can't
not
make your
saying
mind
it's
up.
wrong
Nitpicking
what
at its
you're saying.
finest, man.
But the
No.
thing is, though, when you've made them comments here, I think now when you look back at it, yeah, cool, you made them comments, but along the way, you still have to do something about it, though, cuz. And he hasn't been able to do that. So then now the comments make him look a bit foolish in a sense.
But
You
we
get
know
it?
that most of the squad is ripping
And the
up.
thing is, when you win a
anyway.
game, like let's build on that positivity. Yeah, managers want to bring a positive energy to the environment. Whereas, what does Amrin do? He purposely brings negative energy into an environment. You know, the worst team in Man United history. He said it again recently. We're gonna lose a lot of games. Why are you talking like that? I like a manager that's positive, man. It doesn't mean, but what people are misunderstanding is positivity equals irrationality. Like it's irrational to be positive, but there's a fine line that you can dance between. And whereas Ten Hag goes, we're just going to be shit. Watch, we're going to lose a lot of games. Why would you bring? If you say that is definitely going to happen.
You know what
That
I
is
don't
definitely-
like? And mine's not maybe more so about the storm in it. Because listen, the storm is just, I don't know, he's trying to use it as a metaphor for something. And cool, it's whatever he feels at that time, innit? Yeah. My thing is the way he's been flip-flopping the last couple of weeks, man. You know what? I'm going to
Please
play.
explain. I want to hear this. Yeah, go.
I want to play the kids. The Premier League, I don't really care about it. Then all of a sudden he's saying that Premier League, I do care about it. Then he's saying, you know what? We're not ready. My focus is on the Europa League. I can't wait. You know what I mean? I'm stressed out. Then he's like, you know what? I don't really care about the Europa League. We need to play one game a week next season. So my concerns are the fact that he's kind of almost irrational nature. Like he's very, very emotional in that sense. And I hear it. It's an emotional job. I actually
he smashed his hand again. I don't know if anybody saw that photo.
We're not qualified, innit? He's the manager. Cool. But I think for me, that's more concerning. Forget the storm. More concerning is that he flip-flops his kind of mindset of what he wants. He's not very set in stone of, yo, I care about this. But sometimes it might be this. And I'm like, which one is it, bro?
So after we won their semi-final against Bilbao, what is the first thing he said? And you just mentioned it, that he was stressed for the final already. Did you hear him say that? Yeah. Why is the manager talking about him being stressed? Like, this is not, you don't want to impart that on your players.
I think it was more because he wanted to make sure that we won the final and he's stressed for the fans because he wants to deliver a trophy for the fans.
Yeah, but that's not how you talk as a manager. Just say, hey, all right, so I know Postecoglou. I'm not a big fan of Postecoglou. He's an Australian. Everybody's excited because we have an Australian in a European final in Australia. But I know how he's going to set up his team. So we know Postecoglou. The first 15 minutes, they're going to come at us so aggressively. They're going to press the fuck out of us. They're going to try to win. They're going to try to score 2-3 goals in the first 15, 20 minutes. That's what. If we can withstand that, then we might have a chance in the back end of the game. But we know how Postecoglou. But I want my manager to be like positive about the final. Hey, I'm excited. I think we can win. But he's already saying I'm stressed and I feel bad and I'm sorry. Like he's done another interview saying, "Hey, I'm so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed about this. I'm so embarrassed about our results." I don't want my manager to tell me how embarrassed he is. I want my manager to fix the problem.
You should be an Arsenal fan. You should be an Arsenal fan. I'll be real. You sound like you need to be an Arsenal fan, Angie. I'll be honest, yeah. You know what it is, yeah. We all come from an era of seeing our team win. Yeah, I can tell. But what's it called, yeah? For me, yeah. Man is trying to
I love your aggressive nature today. Yeah, go.
Literally, the man is telling us everything that we're thinking about, yeah. And if he wasn't doing that, by the way, we'd be calling out for basically being positive on all these scrubs that we don't like. But now we need to be positive all of a sudden. Brother, he's trying to set a standard for me from when I read it. I don't look at it like where he says I feel like there's more behind the message, yeah. For me, not all the time. I agree with you, Saeed. Bro, man's trying to tell us, we might win the Europa League. But
you've made it too much about yourself in this club.
So it's not the be and end of this club. You want standards of this club. I want to be hearing that, bro. I don't want to be hearing about this soft nature. Oh, let me cuddle up to Garnacho because he's 20 years old and he's a scrub. Yeah. Like, forget all of that.
Who said that though? Who said that?
No one said that.
You're
what you're saying.
That's not what he said.
You made this about yourself.
You should support Arteta.
Let me respond to that. You've made this about. It's not about you. When the manager talks after the game, he's talking.
It's not about me.
Let me make my point.
You've been making bad points, bro.
Let me finish. Are you ready? So when the manager talks after the game, when he talks about being stressed, when he talks about the storm coming, he's talking to his playing cohort. He's talking to his playing group. And what is it that he wants in their memory? That there's going to be a firestorm, that he's nervous for the final, that all these things. So as a part of the manager is you've got to appease the fans. So you don't look like you're not Ten Hag and you're just spreading bullshit. You can't talk like Ten Hag and say we played well when we were playing shit. Of course you can't do that. But the other big aspect of this is how do you manipulate the minds of your players to believe that they can achieve great things? That's part of being a manager. And Ten Hag, Amorim's failed in that. He's been so negative. He's talked about how stressful he is. He goes, I might even be leaving. He goes, maybe we need a new person.
Standard.
Why is that talk seeping into your mindset? Because if it's seeping into his mindset, it's going to be seeping into the mindset of the players. And as fans, we always think he's talking to us when he's talking in the press conference. But the big aspect is the players. That's the most important. It's not you. We're not important. It's the players that are important. And you've got to get them to believe they can do great things. Whereas Amorim gets them to believe that they're failures and they play like failures and they look nervous on the pitch. Sorry, go, jump in.
No, basically, I think you lot are both kind of going back and forth on something. But one thing I'll say is, Andrew, I hear what you're saying, but there's also a flip side is where managers will say things to get headlines and get stuff off the performances and whatever, and off the players. I'm sure Amorim is talking.
As a distraction, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Amorim is talking to the players privately and saying what he expects from them and so and being a positive manager and a player. That's part of managing. Do you get what I'm saying? So I get your point, but I don't think I feel like it's refreshing to hear. I hear Kaz saying it's refreshing to hear some straight edge, like, yo, we're shit. But at the same time, I agree with you, there's a fine line. But what you're both missing is definitely he's talking. I'm sure he's talking to them outside of the press, like, yo, so don't believe everything you guys are hearing, or don't take vice versa, like literal everything you hear from Amorim.
But you are making the assumption that he's changing in private. He's saying different things in private than he's saying in public.
You know what
you might be right. I'm not even saying you're wrong, but we're making that assumption there.
The reason why I'm making that assumption is because he's a manager and he sees these players every single day. If he's not doing that, then that's a sackable offense in itself.
But there's a chance he might not be doing that. We
don't know. 100%
We don't
sure,
know.
and he speaks to the players.
100, that's a big one. There might be an 80-20%. There might be 50. I don't know. But all I'm saying is I'm judging him on what he's saying publicly, and publicly, I've not been impressed, because I just think about when Klopp first came in, he'd be telling us players that are shit, that they can achieve great. I love the way he runs. He'd be talking about these average players, and you'd get a 9 out of 10 performance from him that were previously giving him 5. They were previously giving 5 out of 5. That's what great managers do. They come in and they get average players to believe they're great players. You know what I mean? They play with their self-confidence. They play with a belief. And what my concern is, when we watch United's team, you know, at the start of games, we look really nervous. We don't want to receive the ball in tight areas, because he hasn't instilled that confidence. So when I watch the United team, I'm like, oh, okay, that's part on the manager, because he has not instilled that confidence for them to feel like they can take the ball in tight areas. They feel like they can play with an aggressive mindset. That is my concern. You know, unless maybe you're right, and maybe he's saying all these things that help build confidence for players behind the scenes. But based on what he said publicly on press conference, I'm concerned. But
let me just get these super chats in, because we have been linked with Hudson-Odoi as well. So I'm trying to read that as well. Read Amorim's era pinned tweet if you haven't already. What is that tweet? Can you tell us, please? He'll turn the Reds around, Ruben Amorim. Mandy says that, so in 10, Cunha or Mainu, come on. Aslan says, Temp, imagine you are Nagelsmann and you see INEOS sack Amorim before giving him a window after asked not to come now. You ain't ever coming to Man United, I'll be real. Yeah, I can't lie. It does look bad on the next manager who comes in, if I'm being real with you. Big up Saeed and the panel, the chat. Amorim's truth is as bad as Eric Ten Hag's delusion right now. Full of shit. Smash the likes. And they were saying several posts on X from Sporting Lisbon fans saying to trust him. He will change the entire club top to bottom. Hopefully that happens. And Just Waffling says, the thing about Amorim's honesty is that he doesn't talk enough about what he's doing to fix the problems. That's your job, homie. He tries to talk about it, but I don't know, man. I don't know if he's I don't know. I don't know if he I think he's just helpless, man. I'm gonna lie to you, but I'm not gonna say I feel sorry for him.
He's lost, yeah. He's out of his depth. Let's be honest. He's out of his depth.
Right now, he does look out of it. He is out of his depth right now. But like I said to you, you know, when you say next season and you get some players in and you change the environment and then you get players out as well, does the outcome or outlook, should I say, different? That's where I just want to see that. That's
where we're all at, bro. That's the mind I'm at as well. That's
you know what I'm saying,
realistically, I'm with you on that part.
You know what I mean? If you got rid of him, I'm with Temi, let's go, it's showtime. But for me, I really think, yeah, for me personally, this manager, because of what he's been through and because of what we've seen with the player quality, I think he should be given that chance.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. And that's where I'm at
because of what he's been through. What is this? That is the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life.
It's true. What has he been through? Because of the situation he's been in and the fact that he's been brought in at the time where he was and what he's had to change here. That's why I believe give him a window at least. But like I said,
why
to you,
would you give somebody 200 million when they're sitting?
It's giving him.
It's the mindset you're at, though.
Thank you, bro.
Buying for the manager.
No, we're not buying for the manager. Wait, we have a manager.
No,
Okay,
we're
we have
buying the club,
we
bro.
have a okay,
Buying the
cool.
club.
We have a manager who has a very specific way of playing.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So you're telling me that we're just gonna buy random players that don't fit what he's trying to do?
no,
but
you're buying in Cunha
Oh,
and
brother,
Buemo.
it shows.
You're buying
please.
Ederson. You're not buying players that are necessarily fitting this. You still can buy within that system. You can still buy players that can suit any system that you bring in. Let's be honest. You can. Like
I
can buy players.
I can also say, by the way, before you do that, everyone else trying to get onto me. Oh, he's back in the manner. Get onto Saeed as well. Then you lot all here for Saeed too. Go get onto Saeed as well. I'm looking at your names.
I just think the reason
you lot as well, bro.
Real quick,
the reasons are based on hopium. Yes, I know.
Yeah, the reasons that this is
the
my
reasons
issue.
are based on
This is my
hopium.
issue. Is like the reasons I'm hearing to keep him. Like I want everyone to sit down and like
You think
about them when they say them. And it's just like there's no justifiable reason.
No. That's the whole point, though. There is no justified reason to keep the manager. But
so why keep him?
No, but hold on a minute. Because I look at the bigger picture and I look at the guys that are at the top. I don't trust them. So for me, and it's not an excuse to keep him, by the way, but I look at and I look at, right, has he been backed? No. Is the player quality rubbish? Yes. I look at the two together. I'm like, yo, if we then say, right, this manager is given a chance with the players that we bring in, then we can all say, you know what, he's been given a fair chance.
So we should spend $200 million for the chance.
We're not buying it for him.
I don't care. It's not. No, leave that part out.
I shows. Do you want to go? Or do I want to go after?
Let's buy 100. Let's spend 150 million to 200 club signings to see if this manager can get it right.
But you're not buying. The thing is, your mindset is you're buying players for the manager. Like
I literally just said that's not the case. I said even if it's club signing, why waste time?
Argument is you don't deserve any.
No,
players.
He has shown absolutely nothing to show that he deserves any kind of money.
He hasn't shown
nothing.
Yeah, that's
not.
I think you're right. He doesn't.
I don't think
it's a huge risk. I think it's a bigger risk to keep him.
It's such a bigger risk to keep him. If again, I'm going to say. I said this 30 minutes ago.
It's older bit. You can say that, but it's also a bigger risk.
Yeah, you tell him.
It's a risk constantly with the club. We are facing a continuous risk at this club of a manager coming in and he's not going to be the guy. Like right now, if I was to ask you right now, who do you believe that this club will bring in? Do you have like a
Doesn't
name?
matter. Does not matter.
Okay, doesn't matter.
Not one person on this panel knew Arne Slot would win a league title. Not if we had stack ranked. Real quick, Saeed. If when we were all saying Ten Hag out, if we were to stack rank people last summer, who we would have brought? Did anybody say Arne Slot on your channel? Did one person say Arne Slot?
No.
There's a few
No, I don't know on Saeed's platform
when Saeed was doing
United.
Best of the Rest. Yeah, when Best of the Rest show. Yeah, he was. Gunali was very it was Gunali. I swear down.
He said Liverpool were going to win the league. Yeah, he did say that.
He did.
No, I'm speaking specifically about United fans.
No,
if you're a United fan and you predict Liverpool,
we heard about his name.
You're not a United fan. Do you get it? You're not allowed to do that.
No, that's not. I'm not talking about that at all. I'm just literally saying when we were all saying after the FA Cup we should fire Ten Hag, and people were saying who should we sign as a manager? Nobody said Arne Slot. So the point I'm trying to make here is it's not my job to pick the manager.
I agree.
It's not my job. Liverpool clearly knew who they wanted.
Yeah, but the difference is he has a spine he can rely on, from Alisson to Van Dijk and Kanate to the only one I would say.
No one's
made zero signings.
No one's expecting.
Salah's not really in the spine; he's more on the wing. But it's someone that's going to get them their goals. They always got a solid spine on. Then you got the other pieces like Trent and that. The only thing is, no one Premier League. But no one thought that. But no one thought Man City and Arsenal were going to drop off the way they did. No one thought that. Did anyone think that? Did you think that? Did you think that?
Even then, he's a brand new manager who made
he done very well.
Who made one signing that didn't play all season. You feel me? And none of us knew who he was. I mean,
because
we might have known of him.
Timmy, just quickly.
What happens when you have a spine?
Just on that, when they chose
go on.
When they chose Arne Slot, It was all done through like Michael Edwards said
Data.
they looked at the stats in terms of how a Klopp played football, and they looked at Arne Slot, and they tried to find a manager as close as possible to Klopp. Like
They rejected Amorim, by the way.
because he didn't fit. But the thing is, and this is Saeed's point before, is who's making the decisions? It's Jason Wilcox. He's going to be making the
Omar
decision.
Barada is the main guy.
And Omar Barada. Just look at the history. These people. So Jason Wilcox, who a lot of people rate, and that's not a problem. His whole history is he was running youth team football, and he did about 6 months to 12 months at Sunderland as director of football. But he came from a youth background. Southampton, sorry. He came from a youth background. And then Omar Barada, he's never run anything in his life.
Yes, he did.
Omar Barada,
Yes, he did.
He was the operations. He was the operations.
Operations. Not a
so he's
CEO.
operations.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
was
so
an
that's a step
operations
down
guy.
from
So
CEO.
So he came from. So just let me finish. So he came from sponsorships. He
Yeah, but get your
was
facts
managing this. I'm enjoying the passive aggressiveness.
I love
so
it.
he came. He came. He hasn't been a CEO. He hasn't run a football department. He's managed some contract stuff, and we're asking these people. Who's our really experienced director of football, like a Luis Campos or a Tixi, people that are like somebody that's been around European football, that knows how to speak 3-4 language, that's been around Euro football, that understands, they've got connections here.
So why did they get Richard Hughes then?
Who's our wily old fox, like the person that understands European football really well, running our football department? There's no one there at the moment.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Liverpool got Bournemouth's man, Richard Hughes from Bournemouth. What are we doing here? What's the difference between Bournemouth and Southampton at that point? Come on, man. Who's Richard Hughes? They still got him and they won a league. So your whole point there is defeated, bro. Like, who cares? Who's Richard Hughes? I call him Richard Hughes.
Can I respond to that ludicrous? Can I respond to that ludicrous? So that they have
waffling, man.
They might have the best the best person. Michael Edwards is a genius. Like they might have the best person. That's who we tried to get. That's who we tried to get before we got anybody else, and he rejected us because he's a Liverpool fan.
God, man.
And he's built his own like data warehouse. Like he's one of the smartest people in football, man. Like, yeah, I'm not even sure where you're going with that, but yeah.
You know what it is, like I said to you. I think, yeah, and I'll let Shells come in as well. Yeah, like a lot of it, like I said to you, it is based on, you know, what can you do better with better players. A lot of it is down to that. You know what I mean? Because the same guarantee, I believe right now, he could do better with better players. It's the same, maybe hoping you've got another manager comes in and gets these players played to a better standard that you want to. And don't say better than 17th. Say we're going to get to a standard of, let's say, 5th or 6th. Like, you couldn't confidently say to me right now that this manager I've got in my head right now is going to take us to the next level. Can you right now tell me, please?
I know whatever manager we get next will do better than this.
And again, that's not the standard though, is it? Really?
Okay, so let's wait. Stop right there. Let's use what you just said. That's not the standard. Yes. That is exactly why he needs to go right now.
But I'm talking about.
Even if we raise the standard, it's not the standard. That's why he needs to go.
No, but my point is, yeah, we can't confidently say, yeah, that we can see that there's a manager out there.
It doesn't matter to me, bro. It doesn't matter.
It kind of does matter when you think about
it. It does not. What matters is right now. What matters is what's happening right now.
We need to know what our philosophy is.
Saeed, you know why it doesn't matter? You know why it doesn't matter? You know why it doesn't matter? Because
hold on. You know why it doesn't matter, bro? Because they sacked Ten Hag late. They should have sacked him in the summer, and then they waited until November to go and get Ruben Amorim and play a new system. So it doesn't matter who the next appointment is going to be. It does. Because this guy, Omar Barada, said now or never. When Ruben Amorim said, yo, I want to wait until the summer. So it does matter. What we're doing here. It does matter what the appointment is,
obviously it matters what the appointment is, but we have seen what is it, 7 months of Ruben Amorim? Do I got that right? 7 months of Ruben Amorim.
He could be sacked tomorrow,
bro.
You could be sacked tomorrow.
What he has shown in this 7 months is that he cannot take the player, like he cannot take players and improve them. He's shown that. He's just simply shown that he cannot improve players. He cannot make players better. In fact, he's made them worse. And that's all we have had to see. That's all we've seen. We went from 11th, 4 points off top 4, to 16th and 25 points off top 4. Like there's there's nothing you can cling to from a footballing perspective that makes any sense to keep him. You're just saying,
you know,
3 months. Tammy, you're
just saying, he deserves this because he got treated badly and
I think
Ineos made a mistake. Ineos dropped the ball.
Saeed,
Who cares?
3 months. It's been 3 months since we beat a team outside of the bottom 3. 3 months in the Premier League.
I agree.
3 months outside of the bottom 3.
Can I say something, guys? Tell you made a point about Liverpool, right? If Man United had Vidic, Ronaldo, and let's say a Michael Carrick as a spine, yeah, then you'd see a different Amorim as well. You can't compare the two because Liverpool are going for a title last season up until injuries. It's ludicrous to
It's
even
ludicrous. I can't lie.
That
was the L.
How was it ludicrous?
Can I counterpoint that? I'd like to respond to that.
Don't have a Van Dijk. Man United don't have a Van Dijk.
Real quick, you guys missed the point I made completely because that had nothing to do with what I was talking about. The only reason I brought up Liverpool is because Saeed said, "Well, which manager should we pick? Is there any managers out there?" And I said, "There's always managers out there." That's the reason I brought it. It had nothing to do with form or anything.
And just
that's
on that,
the only reason I hearkened Liverpool up.
Okay, can I just quickly defend Tammy? Just 1 sec on that point. Is that the expectation for United is not to win the Premier League, like Liverpool with the players that they, you know what I mean? There's different levels of expectation. Like it might be a top half finish, it might be 9th, it might be 8th, it might be win a home game in the last 3-4 months. Can we do something? Like no one's expecting United to be where Liverpool is now with Arne Slot, but we expect to be a little bit higher than what we are. That's the point that Tammy's making.
He's gotten less points than David Moyes at Everton.
I know.
Let that sink in real quick.
Guys, we are letting Ineos off the hook. My
so let's forget Liverpool. Forget because I didn't bring up Liverpool to talk about footballing. I brought them up about managers are out there. That point. But since we want to do that, let's talk about Everton. David Moyes came in. When did he come in? December, November. He has more points than Ruben Amorim. He's performed at a higher level than Ruben Amorim. So what's David Moyes' excuse? He doesn't have his players.
Listen,
I agree, but it's still not sustainable.
That can be right, but also what we're saying, you have to take when you're saying it's like there's no footballing reasons. There is footballing reasons because it's like, bro, Amorim hasn't created these standards. These standards have been dropped ever since Fergie.
So what is David Moyes' reason?
Because he plays counter-attacking football, which will always get you somewhere. Have you not learned anything with Man United managers? A low block counter-attack, with something that's decent up front. We're
defending deep as we speak.
You know what the difference is? Even having the core rate and Njaya and all them, man. Guess what they got? They got athleticism to get about the pitch at least.
So Everton has better players than us.
Brother,
it's not about that. It's not about that.
It's not even about that. It's about like instead of us trying to always sit back and everything. Every time, you know what, Shells? Land your point, please. I don't even want to take this tonight.
Real quick, before Shells goes, I just want to say I hope you guys can see the ideological inconsistencies right now. I hope you guys can see that. I hope you can see the ideological inconsistencies. I just want you to point that. Go ahead.
All right, cool. Last year and this year, even at the bottom teams, Burnley and that, we got bopped. There's a good reason why every time there's someone that's got remote or decent athleticism about them and ability, they always right for our midfield. It doesn't matter what combination you want to give me. Go tactical, bro. Do what you want. Yeah, we always get ran through. Only the odd games where we might decide we want to turn up. Always, and also no one take into account. Rashford's left, Anthony's left, Sancho's left. Dare I say Greenwood's gone, Anthony Martial's gone. We ain't replaced him, and no one. He
made those choices to get rid of Anthony and Rashford.
No. I think for me, they played a blinder. Now they're getting prices for him. The club wanted them gone, whatever. But remember, Rashford was always going to put that thing in. He done that Henry Winter interview beforehand. Anyways, then released it. Regardless, anyways, whatever's happened, we ain't replaced no one. They're scrubs. We got no good footballers in our side that makes a balance of something that's absolutely decent. Has no one ever took that accountability? That's why I say when we're trying to play this expansive football, we've got the worst attack in the league, no matter what combination you put on.
Tell me don't see that.
Attack in the league. And we got the worst balance mid. Tell me another midfield. Who's got better midfield? See our midfield? Who got better midfield than right now that as a balance in the league? Name me one. Oh wait. Don't you dare. Even Kajust, remember the one from Ipswich? Both times he skipped us when he played.
Pick the right players. Pick the right players, bro. Pick the right players.
Who's the right players?
Bro, he went how many weeks without playing Casemiro? Let's start there. Before Manu got injured, he was in and out.
Where's Casemiro?
Xerxes is our best attacking player. He was sitting
That was
on the bench for how many weeks, bro? I'm not hearing it, bro. I'm not hearing it. Pick the right players.
So when Casemiro was performing, where was it? Where was it? Because I remember that guy playing against Newcastle, and also, by the way, and I don't want this. I like Casemiro. I like what he brings. Yeah. When's the last time you actually performed in the Prem? Like on a real, when was the last time? Or is it just Europa League?
Nah, he's performed in Premier League. I can't lie.
How many times? How many combinations has he had?
These games are blurring out to me so much. All I know is that man should have been playing.
Man City quality. Man City Arsenal game.
Yeah, okay. We part the bus a bit there. Cool. Thanks. Back to low block.
Bro, all I'm saying is there's a lot of excuses as to why we should keep him. But
anyways,
none of them have to do with football. None of them have to do with football. And actually,
because the result have shown that
what he's done.
No, but you know what?
We have less than a 30% win percentage in the Premier League.
Can I just say, by the way, I'm not trying to draw you out here, but which manager do you think you would want after Amorim? Like, what's your kind of vibe right now, like manager-wise?
Give me the Bournemouth manager.
Yeah, no, just to tell me, like, which manager do you like?
Doesn't matter to me.
I'm not trying to draw you out, bro. Which one?
No, it's not about drawing me out.
Why did you have to have the answer? Why did you have to have the answer?
It's like I'm making a point. I'm making an intentional point to not give you an answer because it doesn't matter. Right? It does not matter.
I'm not trying to draw you out, bro.
I know you're not trying to draw me out. I know you're not trying to draw me out. I'm telling you, I'm intentionally not telling you because it is irrelevant. Like it is irrelevant. It is truly irrelevant.
You said that. You said that. I'll tell you one. I wouldn't mind Thomas Frank as my United manager. I'll be real with you. I think Thomas Frank could be a candidate for United job. I think he's a decent manager.
He's a counter-attacking guy.
No, he's not. He brings the game nowadays.
Just quickly, Saeed. With like Casemiro and stuff, they're gonna get big pay rises if we win on. Against Tottenham. So Casemiro is in line for about a £60,000 a week pay rise. Rashford's going to get a huge pay rise. They're all these players are getting 25% bumps in their salary if we win so I'm sure for them, that's one of the big drivers in the Europa League versus putting 100% effort in the Premier League. That's a huge thing. So they're all going to get $50,000, $40,000 a week pay rises if we win that game. So
but also, Mandem, and this is again to tell me, I want to ask you as well. Like, what do you like? What do you look at INEOS differently as well if they then say, right, we're keeping the manager? If, like I said to you, wins the Europa League, would you keep him as well, or is it just a case of if he lose the Europa League?
We sacked managers for winning trophies before, so if he wins, I'd still want him gone. I thought about this week. I thought about it this week too because I was like. What? How would I feel? Because I would obviously, if we win the Europa League, I'll be happy.
Of course, you're not to your football.
We get to shit on Arsenal for a couple weeks. It'd be fantastic. You know what I'm saying? But if I take a step back, just a step back, and just evaluate everything, I started. I'm like, no, he still has to go. He still has to go. Like, first of all, if he loses to Spurs in a final, and anyone is still saying keep him. I question the IQ level. I just question the IQ level personally. But like, even if he does win, bro, just start afresh, bro. Because the risk reward of the either or. If we get rid of him, we lose. I'm gonna say it again. I said it 30 minutes ago. We lose absolutely nothing.
I'm not even thinking.
We lose nothing if we sack this guy. Nothing. I'm
not even. You know what man's thing is? I'm not even thinking about losing because right now losing is not even an option, man. Them.
It's not an option.
You know, like it's that.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
It's not even in my head. Like bro. You know, some people are thinking, what if we lose, brother? I swear down, bro. If they dare lose,
I might have to boycott, bro. We might
all have to boycott.
Because if we lose to Spurs in the final, we're not living that down. We're just not living that
down.
Down.
We've got to just make sure we disappear, bro.
We're just not living that down.
We're thinking of out the window, bro. We are scrubs if we lose that game. You know what I mean?
Would you wait, Saeed, if we lose Europa League, are you still saying keep him?
The thing is, right, for me, I've always maintained keep him Personally, for me, I've always maintained
That's
that with or without
crazy,
Europe.
bro.
It is.
That's
I know it
so
sounds crazy. But
That is so
my thing is, yeah, like I said to you, it is honestly,
bro.
it's a joke, bro. For me, it's not only on the manager, the whole club is an absolute disgrace. You could talk about manager, you could talk about everyone. The whole club is a disgrace. I'm not even looking at him. I'm looking at everyone involved, bro. It's a disgrace. Because
So,
I believe
I'm just saying.
It's too. This is why I believe it's too simplistic. Say, yo, get the manager gone, and we're gonna be back.
Of course, it's
wear down, bro. I think
this is another very annoying argument to me.
If you're manager out, you've got to look at INEOS. I think, yo, we need to really, really, and truly be rioting outside the stadium.
You know what? I would respect.
I don't know if you want to join me. We need to be rioting outside the ground. We need to be rioting there and say, yo, what is going on here, bro?
16th place, no trophies. 16th place, no trophies, and we keep him.
Just one thing can I say, guys? It's not. I don't have an agenda with this manager. I don't care.
If he was to go.
I don't care. I really don't. What my argument is INEOS have brought him in as the ownership, right? If you're looking at getting rid of Amorim this summer, then for me you got to looking at getting rid of INEOS too, because these are the things that these are decisions they have made and that we're living with. So all I'm going off the basis is that he's come in at the start of the season. I mean, at the half end of the season, and we've been playing 4-back for the 10 years. Now he's changed the whole thing. I'm just saying, in any mind, it's logical to give him that window because that's what you've told him to do. Do you get what I'm saying? Let me land. I know everything you have said is correct, bro. This is unacceptable. This is shit. This is bad. This is history, But my point is that isn't on him. He hasn't created this culture and standards, Amorim. This has been an issue going for time. And Glazers and INEOS are. I'm looking more at them than Amorim. I couldn't, if I even had Nagelsmann, bro, or David Moyes, it doesn't matter who the manager is for me right now. It's my whole mindset with this whole club, bro.
I've changed my mindset, man. And this is the thing, though.
One more thing, sorry, Saeed. You set the manager now. The next manager comes in, bro, you couldn't even give Amorim a window. You get what I'm saying? It's just stuff that, this is more important to me. I agree with everything you said, bro. Trust me, I'll go on after every match reaction. I'm like, yo, this is unacceptable. But, bro, there has to be a level of balance and context to it as well.
So let me respond to that. I'll respond and tell you my problem with that take. And I'm not saying anything you said is wrong, but this is my problem with it, right? I completely understand from a wholesale perspective, the club has deep rooted issues. And just talked about, Barada maybe not having the qualifications for the job he has, and some other people internally not having the job and the qualifications at INEOS. I understand that. The Glazers are still here. That's the big problem, right? I understand that. INEOS have only been here for a year and a half, right? I'm not, and they've made some mistakes. They've made some mistakes. They've made some mistakes. And I think the mistakes they have made, I've been in the managerial decisions they've made. Yeah. Right. I think there's no need to double. For me, I hear you. These are deep. The issues that are happening are not Ruben Amorim's fault, right? They're not Ruben Amorim's fault, but there's two things can be true at the same time. The overarching issues of the club, that's factual. But I promise you, I'm going to say this again. INEOS are not spending $9.2 million for him to take the club this far back. You feel me? I wouldn't, if we finished in 10th, I promise you, bro, I wouldn't be saying this. I promise you. If we were eking at the top half of the table, we're 8th. I would be, but we're so far away from where we started with him.
I think 10th is equally as bad as well. 10th,
no, it's not. Listen, I think if we were 10 points off top 4 and we finished in 8th or 9th, that's one thing, right?
No, I get that. That's a different one. Yeah,
we are 25 right now. There's a minus 21 point gap, or somewhere. I might be getting it wrong, but it's well over 20 points, right, of a gap since he's been there. That is the core issue. So yeah, I'll be real. Let me. I would be side-eyeing. I would wait real quick. I'd be side-eyeing them for keeping him because We know they've made a mistake.
I agree. That's what I said.
We know they've made a mistake. So
I'm trying to say.
Don't
So why you
stand on your mistake.
Why you stand on me?
Don't stand on your mistake. Don't stand on your mistake. Like when you make
That's
a
what I'm
mistake,
saying to you. All roads lead to INEOS, though. It doesn't lead to fans.
I didn't say it was fans.
Look at me.
Tell him, Saeed. Tell me, and especially and gets his facts wrong big time.
You can't look at me saying, yo, I want to keep the manager because
I'm going to call him out in a minute.
He deserves one window. First season ownership that have kept him, and you're saying standards.
But why does he deserve a window?
Saeed,
no,
we've already done that. We've already done that, Ange. We've already done that.
I won't go back to that. I'm not going to go back to that. Can I just say one thing?
Hold on a minute. There's a constant, guys. It's INEOS. So when you're saying Temi, yeah, he's got to go, yeah, after the if he doesn't win the Europa League, or you're saying even if he wins the Europa League, he's got to go, yeah, and the club don't do it. That's on the board. It's not on the fans. It's on the board.
Of course.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. If they keep him, I am
not emotionally connected to him, by the way,
bro.
Temi. I'm just saying.
I know that. If they keep him, I would be deeply concerned about.
I'm not going to cry about him. We have one podcast on the manager and we move on. I'm not going to cry over Amorim. I'm just giving you my preference on what I would like.
If they keep him, I'm telling you.
Just say,
go ahead, Ange.
Just quickly. And let me play devil's advocate because obviously I want him gone. But who's going to be making the decision on the next manager?
It's Omar Barada.
And he's the one. It was Omar Barada. So what happened if you guys?
And he's the one that said now or never.
Yeah, true. So if anyone has all corn, it's him.
So the reason we sacked Dan Ashworth, if you remember, was that he came up with a manager option, and all of them were people that he knew or worked with previously.
Exactly. Yeah, fact.
And Ratcliffe was like, "You don't know anybody across Europe, and you don't have any connections in other countries and stuff," and that's why they sacked him. And then within like a week or two, Omar Barada made the decision to hire Ruben Amorim, if you remember. So it's going to be the same people. And I don't have faith. I don't have faith in Wilcox or Barada. We need an experienced person that's actually hired people before.
But who's that though?
Barada's never hired a manager before. Like he's never been involved in that discussion before.
Never.
How do you know?
This is a guy that came from. He was a sponsorship.
That's a bit false, isn't it? Because last time I checked, he was Man City head of football operations. So when you're head of football operations,
was it Khaldun Mubarak was the guy though?
Yeah, but brother, I'm not being funny. Yeah, I know you talk about experience, but let's be real. Pep's been in the job for a long time, but decisions have to be made. This guy down here is telling me that these lot don't have experience, brother. Last time I checked, yeah.
No.
Last time Liverpool, yeah. Last time I checked, by the way, what's his name? Michael Edwards. I don't remember him having experience in choosing managers. He was a director of football and an agency.
Please answer this question though. Is it his first job as a CEO? Please.
Oh yeah, of course it is.
That's what I'm saying. He's just what Andrew's saying is his first job in a CEO role. Not that he's got experience as football operations, but to hire and sack a manager, he's not done that before at City. He's not done it. That wasn't his role, and that's why you know what I mean. You're conflating the two. He is. You've got to look at this guy and start listening to him and realizing, yo, Omar Barada's the one we've got to be looking at.
He has to hold that corn, and I remember. I agree with that part, by the way. But when you've done job after job and keep getting promoted through the ranks, the last thing is the head of football operations. Then you go to your CEO. You're literally You've got your experience in those fields. So say he's not qualified, bro. I'm not being funny. Like I said, he said Liverpool, yeah, head of football operation. No, my man never done that before. Michael Edwards. He was a flipping director of football, and then he had an agency for transfers and stuff. And then he went up there. A guy come from Bournemouth as a director of football into Liverpool. So on that note, it's Jason Wilcox. Go look at their roles respectively before saying they don't have no experience, because that's just the unfair criticism on their jobs itself. Yeah, but he has to hold corn, Omar Barada and Jason Wilcox. He's not even our director of football. He's technical director. He took a step down from Southampton. The thing is, we love to quickly point upstairs all the time. Brother, I've not heard anyone yet on this damn show yet, except for us not at the top, saying, you know what, maybe these players, what you think they are actually, you know what, they're actually
I don't think Temi's saying that
collective. No, but the thing is, I'm taking the other side. I think these players are that shit because we don't.
You think they're 16th place shit? You think they're 16th place shit?
Brother, when you've got a strike force of no goals, this is what's always going to happen. We have no one to finish our dinner. We had no Ahmad even then for 3 months, who was literally getting our dinner for us at times.
Why wasn't he playing his best striker? Why wasn't he playing his best striker?
Your best striker don't score goals.
Xerxes?
He don't score goals.
Would we score more? Would we score more goals if he was on the pitch? Yes or no?
In some instances, yeah, but I'm not being funny. But he doesn't. He's not a prolific goal scorer. So no matter the thing is, yeah, no matter what collective you put up together, Rashford's already gone, by the way, at this point. Pretty much, that's already done. Yeah, we don't score enough goals to get us out of situations. Period. Not one goal. Not even a goal. Let alone sometimes you might score 1 goal. Sometimes you might score against 3, like against Brentford.
How about defensively? Why are we conceding 3 against Bournemouth? Why are we conceding 4 against Brentford? Why is that?
Because we've already agreed.
So you can talk about forward. We're back.
Respectfully, you said listening is a critical skill. So now let me put that against you. Did I not just say to Saeed about 10, 15 minutes ago?
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I said listening is critical.
Yeah, listening is
There's
critical.
a difference,
Last time I said to Saeed, by the way, how many times? And you was there. She was towards you. Burnley last year, Southampton this year, Ipswich with 1 player. We always get ran through. Not being funny, last time I checked, yeah, if a defense has got no cover in front, you're going to get stripped and batted up, especially when you got a rubbish goalie in goal that likes to hand the goal, like literally throw goals in for us. I don't think the defense has been a problem more time. It's the fact that our attack never bails us out ever. And we're never going to get up the flipping table without scoring goals. And I agree, though, Temi. I don't think you're wrong in a lot of what you said, to be fair. Like, bro, Garnacho's missing sitters at the end of the day. Hoyle's a scrub. He's selecting his man. But even if you put Mason Mount there, even if you put Cobby there, even if you put whoever you want there, we're still not scoring goals. We're not. That's our main issue.
Before I get super chats, go on, Charles.
Just quickly, also, if you said why didn't he play in his best striker, he hadn't had the chance to figure that out. If he had the summer to have his preseason or whatever,
I agree.
You're not gonna know that in a couple of training sessions. Some managers might.
I would know in 1 training session if Portland was better than Portland. I know in 1 training session.
Let me land on that. Some people that's translating to a game is a different subject, though, right? Am I being right? Am I fair to say?
No, listen, I hear that. I hear that.
Yeah, and then the other point. Sorry, man. What was the other point? Remind me quickly.
About basically you were saying what was you saying?
Don't worry about it. I lost my train of thought. But that was the whole point on the Xerxes thing. It's like if he had
summer, you were saying talk about the start of summer. If he was here at the start of summer,
yeah. If he had that time and that bedding in period, then you get an identity for your team. The whole us conceding goals is not because we're set. That's a midfield. That's a binner thing. Even going back to last season where we was playing basketball matches, I thought I was watching the NBA. That midfield is so done out here. Like it has to. It can't. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's not.
Yes.
That's
Is
not
it 16th place bad?
That's a team that's INEOS have put together.
It's like having Saeed and Grizz as your DMs in front of you, bro. No matter what situation you put it, it's not happening, is it? It's not a good balance.
I didn't say that.
I need
bro.
I need to
DM. I don't know about you, bro. I was a good DM.
Is it 16? I agree with everything. Listen, I agree with what you're saying. The players are mid. The players are mid, but they're not. I will.
The college is gone. And the other one is
I was called squats in college, so allow me.
I will die on the hill. This team is not 16th place bad. I
agree.
I will also die on the hill that this team is capable of winning 2 games in a row in the Premier League.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You're telling me, if we had Ruben Van Nistelrooy in our team, we would win.
If we had him in the summer, you reckon we'd be in
That's a rude.
Yes or no, Egg? Tell me. You reckon we'd be in a better position?
I'm sure we'd be. Maybe
if we had Rude.
I don't know.
Again, who does that come down to?
Forget that. Forget the rude comment.
That's just the rude comment. He did nothing.
I don't know. I don't know the answer.
INEOS didn't allow a platform for the manager to succeed. They didn't.
Also, Amorim said he would play a 4-back system and it'd be okay, but we need to get used to playing my philosophy. All right. So,
listen, I hear that, but how about
that's not the main. Can I just say that?
You know what? Wait, another red flag.
Wait,
real quick. Okay, go ahead, Aaron.
Just quickly. It's not. Yes, it is one of the reasons we need to get used to the system. The other part, it's a dirty little secret, is that he doesn't know any other system. Let's be honest.
Thank you.
He doesn't know any. That's a dirty little. He's tactically. So what happened, and this is the story that a lot of people, the Athletic went and spoke to people before he got hired around the system, is after 3-4 games, he lost it for 3-4 games at Sporting, and he was playing a normal conventional back four system. And then he switched to 3 up at the back, and it started working. And then he never changed again. And that's a system. And he hasn't been a manager for a long time. It's not like he was managing other big teams prior to that. So he switched to that back 3. It's worked for him. And he's like, I'm never going to change it. This is working. And now he's facing issues, troubles, and he doesn't know how to change anything because he's never really tested it out with anything else. And it's very hard to test new tactics.
I'm not being funny. Do we even have a way of playing? You're the same guy that was moaning about Ten Hag and no system. Now we're trying to get used to a system, and now you're still unhappy because you won't change up a damn system. Make your mind.
Let me get real quick. I want to respond. I want to add to real quick. Let me add to what Andrew's saying on that, bro. Yeah. One of the reasons when people were hyping up Postecoglou last season, they're like, oh my God, he's the best. He's better than Pochettino. I was like, I'm not seeing it. Because if you can only play one way, and I'm not saying change it to a 4-4-2 or 4-2-3-1. Maybe let's play two strikers and 110. You know what I'm saying? Like just a little tweak, bro. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
You lot were still wrong.
Yeah, if we're losing to Brentford and Bournemouth and Brighton, and I would still complain. You're absolutely right.
We don't. Yeah. Who's scoring? Bro, I'm going to ask you the same question. Who's
score goals. We concede too many goals. Bro, I don't know what to tell you.
But at one point, but who's scoring our goals? That's what I'm saying. You want 2 up front right now and attacking mid. Who's scoring our goals? Oh, what is Delap going to get up your pitch as a wing back? Yeah.
Why not? I've seen Delap be attacking before in a 4-back system.
And I've seen myself have a wank before, but guess what? It's still a wank. Do you get it? Delap's wank. He's rubbish.
That's a terrible analogy.
No, it's
what
not.
The fuck? What the? Explain that. Explain that.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
Can I just get super chats just to have some time off? Time.
Perfect timing. Perfect timing.
Ajax identity. You are here to play like Ajax. Amorim sticks to his philosophy, refuses to adapt, and suddenly you need to adapt to the team. Amdir summarizes says Højlund fails or gets pulled down every match, and I'm really seeing this and saying keep doing that. Rasmus is criminal. We'll win an invincible Europe. He has shown us. Can we acknowledge we lost Rashford and Sancho without replacing them, regardless of how bad they were? Saeed, the so-called top good players, who were they before Amorim came in, and did they perform? If so, Amorim has been thrown under the bus. I agree. Saeed, invite Tammy and Ange to your Waffle podcast because that's what I'm hearing from them. Pure Waffle. It's a difference of opinion, I'd say, for me personally. I'm repeating myself, but it's not some fan saying Amorim isn't right for the job. He's saying it himself. So crazy. Why shouldn't we be confident? That is a worry, I can't lie to you. The fact that he's saying that. United didn't have a single player that has ever been played in the wing-back position before Amorim came here. These players are not suited to a 3-4-3. If you want to blame someone, blame Berardo for bringing him with the squad facts and then identifying that this guy would be good for the squad. People keep saying this is a squad, 16-player squad. Yes, it is in an Amorim system. These same players were 8th in playing in the system they were brought into playing. Facts. And Kaz, respectfully, stop acting like a diva. You better than that, bro. Ange making some decent points. Are you acting like a top red? And he doesn't know anything.
Thank you.
Wait, hold on. That's an opinion. Now he's trying to police how I need to be. Brother, I'm not going to lie. I'm just trying to spice up the show a little bit. Innit? So it's just like, do you know what I mean? It's got to have a little. Everyone's too much on the same page. We need a little something.
You know what it is, bro? I think for me, like I said, you know what, Temi, I think all roads lead to INEOS, man. Because if they keep him and we don't like it and everyone don't like it, you lot better riot. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying the ones that are available, the ones that are able to riot here, they need to riot outside Old Trafford and demand.
I can see the future now.
But if we don't,
10 games. So just 10 games into next season. When we're sitting in 12th place,
what if he changes it around?
Saeed's going to be outside. Saeed's going to be outside with his mic going crazy.
Are you the only one? So in this chat, is Tammy the only one that would sack him if we lose to Tottenham in the final? I'm with Tammy on this. I would sack him straight away if we lose to Tottenham in the final. I'd sack him anyways.
I think he's the only one.
So you keep him even if we lose to Tottenham. The other three.
Yeah, I'd keep him.
We want this for record. We want to bring this up later.
Shez, you keep
10
him.
games. 10 games into the new season when he's shit again. But so yeah, the other you three would give him a big
why
budget.
think negatively? Well, what if he turns it around though?
there's no turning around losing the Spurs.
Why are we thinking one way? What if he turns it around?
I'm so sorry. You can't recover from that. You can't recover from 16th and losing to Spurs in the final. There's no recovering from that.
I'm saying,
There's
if
none.
but with better quality players, what if he actually turns it around?
Bro, even if he signs even if he signs 6 players, he will still not have his own squad. He will not. That requires like three.
No, but
2 seasons.
6 that he had last season, I think it might be.
Those weren't his players. Those weren't his players. He has one player that he went after, which is Dorgu. So let's say he signs 6 more. Maybe we have 3 or 4 injuries next season. He's still not going to have his team. He's still not going to have his team.
I've changed. Listen, I've changed my stance. I'm not.
Oh, we know, Saeed.
You know what it is, bro.
We know.
I think for me, yeah, you know what it is, bro. I've been the first one to be managers out all the time, bro, and I've just failed to recognize the bigger picture. And right now, Temi, my stance in United is to look at the bigger picture. That's why for me, I'm not hammering out. And hear what, yeah, if he does go, I'm with you. I have no complaints. I am not. This, you know, like back in the day, yeah, last season, it was Ten Hag in and out, but it was almost like your opinion was irrelevant and my opinion was right. It ain't like that for Amorim. If he was to go and he was sacked, we have no complaints. Most of us,
you can understand it. You can understand it
fully, more than you can believe. Understand it.
Because
my thing is, I just want to see this manager, for me, who's come into a very, very bad environment at Man United, been given the opportunity to spend and be part of the rebuild in the summer.
Every manager we've had has come into a bad environment. Not one hasn't.
No. I get that, but they've been allowed to spend money though. Yes or no?
Sure.
Every manager you're talking about, apart from David Moyes, was allowed to spend money. Yes or no?
Yeah. What's your point?
Yeah, but you got to also think, Temi. Yeah, in fairness as well. Yeah, in fairness, brother, he's underperforming, man. I agree with you. It's disgusting. But bro, we've gone from having attacks of Ibrahimovic, Rashford, and Marcel either side, or we've gone from Lukaku, Greenwood, and so forth. Brother, we have Højlund and Garnacho as our saviors. We ain't replaced no one. Sancho's failed as an experiment. Amorim failed as an experiment. Anthony, sorry, that's the Amorim. Anthony, Sancho.
Freudian slip there.
Brother, you caught me, bro. But he's all these other attacking options have failed. We're not going to get goals out of all of our attackers, maybe bar Ahmad. And this is like his breakthrough season because he's finally been given a chance and then he gets injured again. That's it. I just don't think there's enough goals in it. Personally, I just want to see more. I just want to see better players. Nothing more, nothing less. I just want to see better players. I'm giving them to the. I'm not gonna lie. I'm giving for me. I'm only giving him to the first international break. If I see 3 damn losses or 2,
what's the point at that? What would be the point of going through the whole summer and then giving it 2 months?
Because you know what?
2 months of leeway.
Because for me, 4 games is enough indication. A bit like Ten Hag. Yeah. See Anthony. See Ten Hag. We lost 3-0 to Liverpool, 3-0 to Tottenham. And I think we got like a draw and a win. Yeah, I think the first game was against Was it Wolves? I can't remember, but we was rubbish. Yeah, for me that was enough. I don't think that's
you're
it.
Saying,
you know what it is. Yeah, if you get a whole new attacking trio, yeah, which we're looking at, and a centre mid, all the things that I complain about personally, and you can't get me goals and wins out of certain games. Granted, you might go Anfield away. I'll get that's a bit of leeway. I'll be real.
Yeah,
but for me, it's like, nah, I'm not seeing it. I don't really want to give you more than that amount. I'll be looking at a new manager because guess what? We bought players for the club and they can all change up whenever you need, innit? That's all I say. If
they don't sack him, are you INEOS out? If they don't sack him,
I'd be teetering on that. Absolutely.
No.
It's not the thing is, Saeed. Hold on a minute. Can I just answer that?
That don't work. You don't have to be INEOS out. If they don't sack the manager, you have to be INEOS out. Why are you? Wait. Why?
They're the owners. What do you mean INEOS out?
No, what do you mean? So for me, I'm a deluded.
I would be strong. I'd be strongly critical. I'd be strongly.
What do you mean
critical.
strongly critical? You've got to be INEOS out, bro.
I'm not INEOS out. I'm with you.
What does that say? Can I respond to that, please?
No, I don't.
What does that mean? They're the owners of the club. They're INEOS out. What purpose does that serve? What purpose?
What's the Glazers out then?
All roles lead to INEOS. They're saying
They're the owners. They own the club. They're not going to. There's no.
so. You're not side-eyeing. You're not looking at me.
I've already said that. Saeed, I've already said that.
That means Andrew's pro Glazers.
Real quick. What is this myth that people can't win in spite of owners? Like I have seen, especially at least in American sports, there's the Glazers themselves, awful football owners. They've won something in the last decade. You feel me? This myth that you cannot win.
They have the opportunity to
luck.
You call it for standards, right? Am I the one that upholds the standards of football club? Yes or no?
You can actually, if our fans actually had some guts, yes, we could have.
But I'm talking about me, just me right
now.
now.
You as an individual?
Yeah, individual.
I don't think you are right now, bro. I'll be so real.
Okay. I'm not holding, but I'm saying the guys that are in charge of the footballing matters at the football club, yeah, they are not upholding the standards. They have not sacked a manager after you said if he doesn't win the Europa League, yeah, he categorically has to be sacked. But you're saying you're side-eyeing them or you're teetering on the verge of out. You should be fully out. You should be saying, yo, you're a disgrace, 17th position, and you've not sacked the manager. You should be saying, get out of my football club.
I would criticize them heavily, but again, what is the logic in saying that? Let's just start there.
What's the logic in saying to me as a fan then? Why are you backing the manager, bro?
Because I have layers and layers of evidence to show why he doesn't need to be.
Yeah, but again, I don't make the decision at the football club though. You are talking about a group or individuals that can make the decision at the football club. Listen, that's why for me, I'm looking at INEOS more than the manager. The manager can stay for as long as his tenure is. If the club say, right, we are acting because we want to uphold the standards, I can say, fair enough, they've sacked a manager for finishing 17th and he didn't win the Europa League. That's what you call had enough, we're getting him out. I've got no complaints. None of the people in the chat will have no complaints because they said, you know what? It's standards. We don't have this at our football club. Me, I'm just basing it because I think, you know what? We could give him a window to rectify the mistakes that he's done. It's not based on any football.
So if they kept him, real quick, so if they kept him, you would agree with their decision?
Sorry?
If INEOS kept Amorim,
but I've said because he deserves a window. So yeah.
So why would I?
The club needs a window. The club needs a window, bro, and a half.
The club needs a window.
The club needs the window, and see what he does with that. At least, no. That's it.
I know there's no reason. There's literally no reason to.
Period. The club needs better players.
Pass to your point, real quick. I want to go back to what you initially said. You said you're going to give him till the first international break.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So, I don't need to wait that long.
So we're going to risk spending 150 million to give this guy 4 games and then ruin the whole of next season if he doesn't get it right by the first international break.
Whatever the club does, I don't know. I'm just talking about me. Like for me, I just need 4 games. I'm not being like I said. If you sign A, B, C, and D, and maybe E as well.
I don't think it's about games, man.
No, for me, it's about you. The club's bought some good footballers, that I like, that you like, or whoever else likes. If you can't even get them working,
pick up Lauren.
Then there's no reason for me to say, oh, you know what, I'm with this guy. I'm not with him. That's it. I'd go get someone else in. Because if I get examples, doesn't mean it's going to happen. Your Cunhas and Bumos, Delaps, and you still got Ahmad. You can still play Mbumo on the wing. You can still play Cunha wherever for across the front 3. I can still move Ahmad. Dorgu can still go left back if need be. I don't actually care. Mazraoui goes back to his original position. You're still a generational centre back, and he's going to develop with Delap or whoever it may be. I don't really care. Unless say Ederson or Angelo Steeler or whoever it may be, it doesn't matter. Someone else has to get the best group out of these players because they're actually good players. They're brilliant.
And another reason why, Temi, all roads lead to INEOS is that if we are seeing that they've not sacked him after the Europa League final, everyone then says, these really don't really have standards, you know. They might have just like letting it go. That would be my critique. That would be my critique. Why? Even for me, like I'll be surprised that the manager's not been sacked. I'm not going on here thinking, yo, he's got to be here no matter what. And you lot are absolute muppets to call the manager out. I'm not that. I'll be looking at he's still here. Fair enough. Like I'm not saying fair enough, but I'm surprised. That just shows you that again, Omar Barada and the guys at the top don't know what they're doing. Because if they sack the manager in October, I'm not like Kaz maybe in that aspect. I'm looking at him right. If they back him heavily in that summer and they get what they need, right, you can say, cool, that's there back in the manager now. He has to deliver. But if you say, okay, we're gonna wait until November, we're gonna keep
I didn't say
delaying it.
that. I didn't say that.
Poor. That's poor management for me. You can't delay.
Yeah, I agree. It's either you give him a whole year. It's either you give him a whole another year, or you sack him right after the final.
Yeah,
because
it's either you do
finding
that.
Saeed, we know this. Finding a manager 4 games until a new season
is impossible.
And we would be doing this. The thing is, we would be doing the same mistake we did last year. Why would you? It's crazy. It's crazy.
That's why they've got to make it clear, back or sack. So that
I think what's going to happen is they're going to keep him, and I'm going to be highly upset. I think that's the reality. Like the reality is, we're going to see him with the window.
Guy has lost the plot, by the way. Yeah, but go ahead.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like, just fire him. Like, it's really not that difficult.
One thing I'll say is, again, when with the players we're linked to, regardless of who the manager is,
they'll fit into any system. They'll just fit into any system.
That's what the INEOS are doing, right? Cunha, he fits. So it's
how do you validate that? How do you validate a player can fit in any system? Like, good players.
Cunha can.
No, I agree. Cunha can, but I'm just saying, like, we're gonna sign 6 players, and they're all just gonna magically fit this very niche system.
Cunha, Ederson, these guys that we're linked with, they kind of fit in most systems. Like, you know what I mean? If we go and get an Osimhen, he can fit in any system.
Do you know why I say? Do you know why I say? Because systems are so overrated. It's so overrated. Everyone's so fixated on 3-4. No, good players that have a balance. Even if an average player, as long as he's got a balance with a good player that can play a certain way that can, again, balance out aside, you always have something good going on. It's a good recipe, no matter what.
Cass, I agree with that, Cass. Systems are overrated. What is his philosophy?
No.
What is his philosophy?
I don't know.
I think Kaz, you made a good point. And the thing is, we are not. So that the other thing is, we're not aggressive enough off the ball. Like, without the ball, we're not winning the ball in dangerous areas. We're not. Like, our defenders.
How can we ever?
Our defenders.
We're poor. Let me listen. Go on.
So our defenders should be pushing up high, try to win that ball back, especially at home, man. I want exciting. It's more risky, of course. You might get a ball over the top or whatever, but I'm prepared to wear that risk if we're a bit more aggressive. And the fans will get on top. The United fans will be screaming if we're doing it.
Imagine asking for aggressive defenders.
I've got knowledge, by the way. He says, Saeed, let's say we keep Amorim and he gets sacked around October. Who could we get as manager mid-season? Sack him in the season, and we'll have more manager options. INEOS out if they don't sack him. This is a very, very logical point. That's
what we've been saying this whole time.
But that's what I'm saying. If you do that, then do it. Like nobody's saying to you right now, like, oh, think about the fans. Like, if we had a competent ownership, we would not be in a situation where we're thinking at the end of the season the manager's going to be here. Really and truly, we know that the manager's going to be sacked. Like, there would have been briefs saying, yo, manager's not going to be at the end of the season. They're looking to replace him. Then it would have been like, you know what? It kind of makes sense.
Managers get bought out of contracts every day. Happens.
I know.
We've seen it. So that don't bother me. Really.
But tell me, if they're lingering and say, yo, well, we're gonna back him and we're thinking of getting a rebuild for him, that just tells you everything you need to know of. They're not really sure as to what to do. They don't really have standards.
Yeah,
and this is why
that's the problem. That's the problem.
That would concern me.
That's why I'm focusing on INEOS.
Yeah, but and also to Ange, to you, what you said there, Ange, imagine asking Maguire, Lindelof, or Delap, let alone a Luke Shaw, to be aggressive in your defense. Bro,
let him get his players. Let him get his players. Let these defenders.
His players are the Cubs players. His players are the Cubs players. Pick one, guys. We've
got two aggressive players in our squad.
When I say his players, I just mean a better quality in general. That's what I mean. When I don't mean to be.
Let's say no, you're right. That's fair. Let's say you guys are right. Let's say he gets 6 players, which is very unlikely, by the way.
We got 5 last year.
We got 5 last year. We got 5 and some youth players, right? Let's say he gets 6 first team players guaranteed, right?
Yep.
There's not a guarantee that all those players are going to hit. Let's start there. There's not a guarantee all those players are going to hit the ground running. We know injuries are always going to be a factor. You know what I'm saying? That's inevitable. He's not going to have a team that is complete in any way, shape, or form. So when people say, oh, let him
It
get his
should
players.
be. It should be.
He
though.
might
If you
improve,
want
but
to-
he might. Let's say he
But
improves.
Tell me, what I'm going off Andrew's point. He says we want to play on the front foot. You're gonna see if we still see the same shit we're seeing, then cool. I
don't think 6 players changes that.
really.
No.
You get
No.
Cunha, you get Cunha, you
No,
get
No, so
you
I
get
think we're gonna. So just quickly. I think if you do get a quality player,
Brother,
like
why
Cunha,
do you always do this to shows? Let
just-
shows
let me finish,
land,
bro.
bro.
Let me land,
Brother,
bro.
you
Let me land,
always
bro.
doing it. You just cut shows for the count 4th time.
No,
Let
Charles,
brother
okay,
land.
let Charles continue his point, Andrew. Then we'll come to you, Andrew, as well. Go on,
all
go
I
on.
was saying is football is a simple game in terms of that. If you get 6 quality players in that are straight first teamers,
Facts.
you're gonna see a level. You're gonna like it's not logical
Yeah,
to
but
not
that's not
see- not
possible.
see level. And
It's
if you
not possible to
not
get
possible.
6 first teamers. The
Doesn't
most you can
happen
get is
that
3
way.
first teamers. In any
When does that
window, the
happen?
most teams get
all right, cool,
in terms
all right.
of improving your starting 11 is 3 players. That's the most you're gonna get
All right,
in terms
cool.
of
So
improving.
that's what I'm saying. We've never been in this position before. So you're saying it's never happened before, but we also never been in this position before. So let's see what's actually going to happen. We all I can go off is what we've been briefed with. We've been briefed with around like 5 players, yes or no?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all I can go off. I'm just saying, if we get the likes of a level of Cunha, Mbermo, a Delap, an Ederson, and I don't know, another wing back, you're telling me
That'll
if-
upgrade. Yeah, it's a big
if
upgrade.
that
And
doesn't
often,
upgrade, bro, I will be there.
I'm not saying
personally.
it's not an upgrade. I'm saying I don't think that's enough to close the gap to where we need to be. So like, what would
Let's
what
say
would your
top
expectation?
6 here.
What-
Does that get you top 6?
Not with that manager. No, I don't think so. So what is the expectation? Like, let's say we get 6 new players in the first team, which is probably not going to happen. Let's just
I'm
say that
still
happens.
saying
Right?
it's around top 6.
What are we getting? What are we getting next
He
season?
just today and said top 6 is what we expect in next season.
Okay, we're expecting top 6.
Yeah.
That would be the aim for the club. That's what they're saying.
That's not me. That's not me, bro. That's the
not
club.
me.
I hear it. I hear it.
Yeah, bro.
That should be the standard, but yeah.
Again, one more thing. See how the standards are slipping. That's not us. We're just fans. We're just here to have an
INEOS, sir. I'm telling you, Timmy.
No, I think the fans are also culpable in this. Let's be real. I'm
Not
gonna be
really,
real and
not
say
really. If the fans want to be, they want to
the
be.
fans
back,
have
man.
definitely dropped. No, the fans have definitely. The standards are dropping. The standards
Okay,
are
what
dropping,
do you
bro.
think? What do you think should be the standards for Man United right now?
If you finish 16th, you get fired.
No, I'm talking about like next season. For next season,
It depends. It depends. Only because if we're talking about this manager staying here, I don't see us finishing.
no. I'm
in the
just
top
saying,
six.
it's a new manager coming in now. What would you be saying is your expectation?
Top 6.
Like, there you go. You know what I'm saying.
I'll be saying Europa League.
Well,
And there's a war we're in the Champions League next season too, which is crazy. But listen, like that would be the standard. Yeah, I'd be saying our standard should always be our standard should always be Premier League, but that's not obviously that's not realistic. Top 4, top 6, we should be in those European places. Non-negotiable. That should be a non-negotiable for INEOS.
Yeah.
If you can't get that, hey brother, we'll try again next year with somebody else, bro.
Being INEOS out for the minute I heard Sir Jim placed his bid. I almost went broke on Super Chats calling him Sir Rat on Saeed and Red channel. Amrin out, INEOS out, ladies out, F all of them. That day I respect knowledge, because if you want Amrin out, you gotta have everyone else out. If, like I said to you, they keep him.
No.
That's where I believe right now we have that comfort blanket of a manager out. We have that comfort blanket, man. And for me, I just think everyone needs to get that comfort blanket away and start looking at the bigger picture. Honestly, it will actually help you out a lot, because, bro, stressing for a manager out here is too easy, guys. You then realize, shit, the manager's gone. We got another one, and it's still the same shit.
My expectation for him isn't even that much. This wasn't even that much when he got in here. It wasn't even that high. My expectation was just steady the ship, gradually improve us. That was it. Yeah. I knew there was gonna be bumps on the road, but 16th, bro. I feel like you guys think I wanted him to break into the top 4. No, that's not what I was expecting. Just steady the ship. Keep us competitive. Let's see improvements gradually, even if we're not winning games. But we're getting smoked every week, bro.
I agree, though, Timmy. I agree with you, my bro.
That's it.
I'm just saying, with what you're saying, there's still context, bro. I'm agreeing with you.
There's context, and I think to be fair, I think I've given some wholesale content, or context, excuse me, of where we should be. like, or what we should have expected. But
You know
if we're
what,
saying that, go ahead.
Just quickly, it'd be very interesting, Saeed, to go back and watch what we said when we hired Amorim, what our expectations were.
I was top 6 in the Europa League.
Yeah, I know. If you go back and watch some of the live streams
Saeed,
when we hired Amorim, you would be shocked at what your position is today.
Me,
shocked
Andrew,
at what your position
and
is today.
Ty.
You'd be shocked at what your position is today and how much you've switched.
Yeah, actually,
and how much.
Top 6 and thingy and Europa League. I made it.
And now we're excusing. We might have. Are we a bottom 3 club since Amorim got hired? Are we a bottom? I don't know if anybody's done the maths on that. In terms of the number of points we've collected, we might be a bottom 3 club since. If Amorim had, so the somebody said this yesterday. If Amorim was the manager from the start of the season, we'd be in the championship already. In terms of what
I agree.
you know what I mean?
You can't make that assessment because the whole summer would have been different, like, and different players and so you can't. That's come on, man.
With this squad based on our current. Of course you can, based on this club and based on our current trajectory. If we're picking up the points at the rate we're picking them up now, we would be a bottom 3 club.
But good things, shit like that doesn't really work out the way it needs to. But based off that, yeah, you're right. Technically, no, you're right. No, you would have been right. We would have been somewhere in and around, but we would have still survived it. Because I remember watching a video. I can't remember what his name is. The guy from Newcastle. I can't remember his name. Brilliant YouTuber. But yeah, Zir Talk is live apparently. Link it.
I'm gonna send.
Hey, another question: If Gareth Southgate was doing this, how would y'all feel about it? Because nobody wanted Gareth Southgate. Nobody wanted Gareth Southgate.
I couldn't care.
Qualified though, man. We know he's not qualified for this, man. Like we know what he's about.
Wait,
because he's failed at club level.
What?
Amorim hasn't
failed.
How do
we know Amorim? How do we know Amorim's qualified?
We don't.
No, but we do because the guy what he's done at Sporting Lisbon.
What's a higher level, international football or Portuguese football or Portuguese domestic league?
That's the thing. We overrate the Portuguese. Why we?
What's a higher level?
The Portuguese league is the same as
club. Why can't we talk about club versus club? Why can't we talk about club versus club?
Because we don't have a use case for Gareth Southgate.
Can I say something? Gareth Southgate didn't do a good job at England. I don't know where this has come from. This is our most talented era.
He got to the final, guys.
Like that wasn't the standard. We're in the final now. Like I'm not in the opinion that Gareth Southgate did a mad thing for England. I'm sorry, we should have won at least one of them finals. If you look at our squad, bear for bear, like we're right up there.
That he has as well, by the way. England.
It's not like
the best.
If Amorim has a final squad, then cool. He don't. He has.
I'm painting.
Oh, go on. What you gonna say?
I was painting a hypothetical.
That was a poor take.
I know. It's not a poor take. Let me explain. Let me explain why. I know that
your head's hot, isn't it?
My head is so hot. My head is so hot. Like, bro, so hot, bro. Like, I know. Let's say Gareth Southgate came in. I know nobody. Amorim is the sexy signing, right? He's young. He looks good, right? He had a nice little trajectory. Gareth Southgate, nobody wanted him, right? So if Gareth Southgate had done the same thing, everyone would have been like, get out. Everybody would have been like, take a hike. But because Amorim is younger, maybe he did a little thing in Portugal, which I don't care that much about. I'll be so real. You know what I'm saying? We're giving him some grace that he doesn't deserve. Like, you might not like Gareth Southgate, but he got to, I don't know, how many finals? 2 finals and a semi in a major competition. Even if you don't like him.
And just on that, Tammy, if he did this, if Amorim did what he did in Portugal, say in La Liga, in Spain, or if he did that in Italy, if he did that, or even in Germany,
I'd give him more grace.
I'd be like, at least he's proven at a higher level. In Portugal, look at the spend of those 3 top clubs and everybody else. It's like the championship.
Brother, he won
most of the football. Most of the football at that level. Most of the football at that level is championship level.
Every manager was so good in Sporting Lisbon, yeah. Why was he the first manager to win the league in 17 years?
Who said every manager's so good at Portugal though? No one said that.
No, but I'm saying though, if he's not a good manager, yeah, why is he the first manager?
I didn't say he wasn't a good manager. I didn't say he wasn't a good manager. I never in this whole stream, I never said he's a bad manager. I said he hasn't done good enough. He needs to go. He might be a good manager somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like,
why is everyone comes to this club and it's always the same kind of issues, and then they just get there.
when he bopped City in the Champions League, I bet no one was saying this.
Listen, I was excited when he came. I was excited when he pulled up.
It's like, why is that all of a sudden now switched?
It's not all of a sudden. It's not all of a sudden. It's 7 months. It's 7 months.
Back to that live stream. If you go back to that live stream, just quickly.
Let me land. You gave him that grace coming in. You was excited for him coming in, right? Now you're saying, now you're dismissing.
No, I wasn't. I'll be honest. I raised it.
Let me land. I'm talking to Kenny right now. He just said you're excited for him to come in, right? So that means there was pedigree behind him coming in because you're excited. All of a sudden now you guys are questioning his pedigree. That don't make sense. Come on, bro.
No, let me real quick. So let me respond
just on that. Just on that City game. Did you guys watch the City game?
Say
that again.
Did you watch? Because I want to respond. Did you watch the Sporting game? Sporting versus City,
I watched
where they beat him. Did you watch that?
City could have been 2-3.
Sporting got thoroughly. Yeah, and I said this at the time, and no one wanted to hear it. I said it at the time. I'm like, this is not. I wasn't impressed by this. I'm like, see, first of all, this is the worst City's been in a long while. But if you watch that game, it was utter domination from City. They got a few counter-attacking goals here and there, but I'm like, that's not impressive at all. I'm like, he's got low-quality players. I understand that you can't compare with City, but I didn't look at it go, oh, Ruben Amorim was so good. I looked at it, I'm like, oh,
but then he had a very good second half where he tactically outdone Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, he killed him down his flank. He used to
flank. You can say that, but yeah, I wasn't impressed at the time. I honestly, and his European results were not impressive at all at the time.
By the way, go on. I was going to add. You finished. You finished.
Saeed, if you could bring in 3 players from my United era to help this squad now, who could you bring in? Has to be a defender, midfield, and forward. Defender, I would bring in Branthwaite. I like Branthwaite. Midfield, I would bring in.
No, you're missing it. Manchester United player from any era. Manchester United player from any era.
Oh, from any era. Oh shit. Oh, sorry, man. Sorry. Any era. Bloody hell, mate. I bring in Scholes in the midfield.
Yes.
I bring in
Ferdinand.
Wade Rudy up front. And defender-wise, I'd bring in. For me, I'd bring in Vidic, man. We need that aggressiveness, man. We've got players that can maybe play out from the back, like Lenny Euro and that. But I'd bring in someone aggressive, So, yeah, that would be my 3.
You wouldn't bring in a keeper?
Keeper, bloody hell, mate. Any pick your pick, man. You know what I'm saying? Say we played 7 defensive-minded players and get opened up like red light district. The manager misprofiles the good players, and we have. And you think upgrading the quality is all needs to do. I think it's a big thing, though. We're not like, we can't just like skip past that. Like, if we get better players, man, them.
I've got a source reference for that as well, by the way. Nuno took over, and I'm not saying that's our where we should be, but it's a good example regardless, yeah. But Nuno took over Forest, and they finished 17th. Do you remember? He kept them up. Then the following season this year, they were sitting third until they bottled it at the end. And all they did was bring in 4 or 5 different players, and not all of them were guaranteed starters.
Or how about
I'm saying that's how it can change your fortunes in an instant. By the way.
But their standards were keep us. Their goal was keep us in the league, and he did that, right? That wasn't our goal. But let's look at Aston Villa for another good example. Is Aston Villa when they brought in Emery? They were hovering around the relegation zone. He pushed them up the table, not with none of his players. He didn't have any of his players.
But they had a lot of good players already, though, man. Like they had a lot of good players already.
Was their squad better than our squad at the time?
Go check their squad and tell me that their squad was decent.
Bro, they were hovering in relegation places. How good was that squad?
To be fair, no, I'm not saying they weren't. No, Steven Gerrard's just that. No, he's actually a disgrace of a man. You can't have a good group and core of players, at least to work with, and then be where you are. Like for me, you might not believe it, but I don't think we got any progression in our squad, no matter what players you put. Bar Bruno. That's it. Bruno's the only one that can progress our play. That's the reason why he's always playing, because there's no one else that can progress it.
Yeah, that can progress it from midfield.
We got no balanced squad. We don't have goals. They still had goals in their team regardless. They just had to unearth it. You know what I mean? Like some of them gems, aka your Watkins and stuff. But it's just, I don't know, man. Anyways, man.
Just before we wrap up, that one there, Hudson-Odoi. You man, are you keen on Hudson-Odoi? There was a little bit of a link there.
I'm taking him in a heartbeat. I think he's mad underrated. I just don't like his injury record.
I'm not taking him, man.
Depends how much though, but I don't want to do a Forest.
It all depends on the price.
They don't for price. They said 1 year left in his contract.
The free transfer, I think.
Oh, would it be free?
26.
Yeah, if it was free, I'd take him. Absolutely, why not?
Yeah, I can't lie, man. He's not looking.
You wouldn't take him if he was free?
I'll take him if he's
Nah,
Yeah, I would take him as I would. I
No,
like him. I
that's
like
crazy.
him.
no, I wouldn't take him as free.
That's crazy.
free. Fair enough, fair
Your
enough.
knowledge, what did you say? The super chat's not here. Did knowledge send the super chat before?
That was before, I think. No,
1 second. I can't see it. When was it, knowledge? I think I read that one. But you can go
No,
all the
no,
way back and stream around now, you know? That's lit.
no, he didn't. It was the one there. No, that's the one. It might not went through. It's not there though. I just checked.
Yeah, I think I read that one, knowledge. The one at 7 at the back one.
Yeah.
This one here. This one here. I read this one, didn't I?
I acknowledge you're going to the gulag, my friend, man.
Yeah, knowledge. I think I read that one, bro. But listen, man, it's been a good debate, man. I don't know whether that's classed as a heated debate, but you know what I mean? We'll see. We'll see what the title's saying.
Temmie, shout out you, Temmie, for real.
Hey, much love.
Yeah,
man.
tell me,
Much
man.
love-
Listen,
much
it's
love
been a
everyone in
minute,
the
man.
chat,
I can't lie. This might be the battle, man, of the year commencing. I'm
Bro.
in out debates. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what it's about, man. Listen, I want the manager to succeed, and I want him to give it a chance.
Hey, I want him to succeed too. I want him to succeed.
No,
too,
I
but
do,
it's
I
too
do, I
late.
do, I do.
It's too
Yeah,
late.
it's too late. Me, it's not too late. I don't think it's too late, but yeah, that's
Yeah.
we agree to disagree. We'll have to keep having the debates as long as they're healthy and ready and we're good. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm part of the eight. What should we call this group? ACL League. You know what I mean? I'm in the ADL, man. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? I just feel like we're providing a bit of like it's not all every day. Like I can come here and be negative, but it's also like you want different opinions, bro. And the bit
Yeah,
you want
And
you know what
also,
I'm saying,
Oh
bro?
yeah.
I'm just looking at the bigger. I'm just looking at the bigger
And you look
issue.
what you done, Temmie. You're making Saeed cry, man.
Honestly, to me,
You know
my thing is, yeah, I could easily be hammering out, you know, and just say, yo, F it, like I want this guy gone. But I've just maybe I've matured a little bit and just said, you know what?
You know what's
This is what-
crazy? And it's we're literally doing the opposite thing we did last year because last year I was Ten Hag into like halfway through the season. You feel me?
That's what I'm saying. You
But
see
I'm
what I'm
like,
saying? bro?
that was a mistake. That was a mistake on my part. Like, what was I thinking at the time? Like,
Yeah.
and like in hindsight, I'm like, damn, you know, Saeed was right about that. Like, we wasted time. Like, we
Uh-huh.
should have gotten rid of bro
It is
earlier.
something,
And now
but
I'm just like, I'm
Yeah.
just so jaded from
Yeah,
Ten
yeah.
Hag. It's like I'm so jaded from Ten Hag. It's like, bro, I don't care. Like, I don't care about these managers. They're just NPCs, bro. Like, they're
Yeah.
NPCs until they prove they can do something else. Until you can prove something else, I don't care, bro.
Facts, bro. Until you prove something, that's the main thing, bro. You get me? So yeah, man. But now listen, man. Big up to everyone locked in. We are gonna be redirected to Flawless. He's live right now. But Shells, man, love, man, for always coming on and yeah, man.
No, thank you, man. Big up the panel, man. It's good to meet Temmie. Obviously, Kaz, you know what I'm saying, my guy. Saeed, appreciate you always. Shout out the chat, man. Everyone was locked in. You know it's a family match day shows on Motion with Sports, innit?
Yeah, man. Big up, man. Temmie, always love, man. Hopefully we can chop this up again next Tuesday.
No, absolutely, bro. Appreciate the debate, man. Shells, pleasure to meet you, my G.
My guy.
Kaz, you know it's always love, bro. Yeah, bro, this was good. It's been a minute since I needed to get this shit like
I hear it, bro.
vent it because I haven't been posting content for a while, bro. But when I get back to posting content, man, just know it's Amorim out, bro. I just gotta say it, man. I've made up my mind, bro. I'm not going back. Like it is what it is. But hey, love to everybody, bro. Make sure to hit the like button on your way out.
Come on, people. Let's do that, man. And obviously, never a foul. You know, Kaz, man, he's always working and that. You get me? Big up Kaz as always, man.
Yeah, love, man. Don't take me too serious. I do it on purpose a little bit to spice up everything. I'm not gonna lie, create some call me the Ange destroyer, the anti-Ange, anything against Ange. We don't like Ange. We need to beat Ange next week at that. So if you're called Ange, you know what I'm saying? I'm the antidepressant of that. So on that notice, big up. If anyone wants to join the Discord as well, I've just posted it. Knowledge, you're the biggest troll in here. Gulag, you go. Samurai. Love you. But other than that, yeah, man, appreciate it. It was I can't believe it's nearly been 3 hours.
Yeah,
Crazy,
crazy.
bro. That flew by.
Crazy.
Flew by.
Man. Flew by. That's what it's about, people, man. We're just debating people, man. So yeah, man. Big up to everyone locked in. It's been a sick debate. We're gonna redirect to Flawless. Go over there. You know what I'm saying to you, and just Sarcasm City TV, Saeed TV raid. We're out, people. See you tomorrow.